Good morning, you lovely, lovely people. Happy new week, happy new month. It's just great vibes. It is Monday, the 5th of August. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And I am one of your hosts today, the sis you want on your side, my own royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
That's right. Morning, Brent.
She said that it's vibes, you know.
What's vibes?
There's a race war outside.
And I'm in here drinking champagne.
Clink, clink.
I'm in here doing gist.
Poor baby.
Can you imagine?
Shout out to our babes, Marianne.
Sunshine.
I am so happy you left that tweet up.
I'll be honest with you though, I like people like that. Don't think because you're in here cooking me, I'll just mute it.
Yeah.
And that's one thing Tito has done well, is that when you mute, you can actually forget somebody completely exists, you know? So I like that for her. Big up Marianne, man. You keep that up. I don't agree with it. But you
Marianne.
I don't agree with it.
Marianne,
but you keep it up.
I beg you call in and let us know what that meant.
What's tea? I want to know what the thought process was. I want to know how Marianne made that connection. I want to know what Marianne wants Whitney from Love Island and gets to do. That's what I want to know.
Hey,
I want to know.
Guess the Super Saiyan.
I want to know what role Marianne has with Michael Dapper. That's what I want to flipping know.
Baby.
People are funny, man. People are so funny, you know.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
you see how much kind of Marianne tweets for the plight and progression of the black community, and at any point in time, one is that she types something that wait a minute, they all get onto her, you know. You don't remember the past.
Nope. But that's how social media works. They don't remember anything else that you've done or whatever else.
Yeah, man.
It's just that one thing. And all it takes is just one person from... There's different sides to Twitter. There's a weird side. All sorts of people on that weird side. There's no distinction. There's no difference in race or class. That's not the determining factor. Determining factor is weird. Once one of them gets a hold of it, oof. It's like a cult over on that side. It's crazy. It's crazy. But how's you guys? How's your weekends and stuff?
Yeah, it was all right, man.
Good.
You know, can't complain. The sun was out and that.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just the best thing ever. Like, the sun just being out is just... You just wake up with a smile on your face.
This is it.
And nothing can put you in a bad mood.
That's what I'm saying to you.
It's just the best thing ever.
That's why you got to look at the different... It's Monday, it's early. It doesn't matter.
Let's start the week. Marion already
This is
started
why...
the week.
This is true. This is why you go to certain parts of the world. There's
No
certain
word.
issues in other places
No
that
word.
are not in other places.
Yeah, word.
You know what I
That
mean?
facts.
This is it, man.
Absolute facts. But I've had the sweetest weekend ever. Like, I feel like the love I felt for my birthday, I've never doubted that people love me, but I'm gonna take this one step further. And you know, it's one of those take it as you will kind of thing. But the love I've received for my birthday, nobody in this life can ever convince me that I'm a witch. No one in this life can ever convince me I'm a bad friend. No one can ever convince me that I'm a bad person, that I have bad character. It's impossible. Because people have really gone out of the way. So on Saturday, I went to the gym, as I do. And my gym family are just the sweetest. And they sang happy birthday to me. We always sing happy birthday to each other. They got me flowers. They got me a balloon that says Queen for the day. You know, I like royalty stuff. They got me donuts. One of my friends baked cookies for me because I like her cookies. I got bottles of wine. I got cards with the sweetest, like brought tears to my eyes. And I think just the love that I've received of her. But I'll be honest with you, yeah, I started to think all of you before I was turning 30. I was like, guys, I'm 29. Like, this is it. So it's been so nice. And I think, and it literally started with you guys. So it's been since Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, I'm just on a high. And I'm going away this week with the girls and weekend. So I'm just so happy. So happy. Can't take this shine away. Can't dim this light. Well, no, I've honestly felt so like just so touched and so loved and just so, yeah, man. Good things to say, good things to come from my 29th year.
Amen.
But that's the confirmation of it.
That's right.
Yeah. Brent, how are you though? How's your weekend?
It was cool. I got to see Danielle.
Nice.
So
It's always a good time.
Very nice. It's always very nice. Then Then I worked. Yeah, my weekend.
Oh, I met a listener of ours. I can't say where, but I went to get food somewhere, and he was working there, and he was so lovely. His name is Emmy.
Oh, big up.
And he was like, "Oh, I watch you guys' show," and I was like, "Oh," like it was so nice and very very sweet. And his colleagues looking at him like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Oh, I watched you guys' podcast," and he was like, "Keep going, like keep doing what you're doing." It was really really sweet. So big up Emmy.
Big up Emmy.
Why couldn't you say where you met him?
Because that's someone's job. People are weird.
Okay.
Brent, people are weird. He knows why I met him. I tell you, obviously, I scare you guys after.
Yeah.
But you know, people are just weird.
Oh, 100%.
So, you know, people are just weird. You just never know. But yeah, he was really, really lovely. Like I love when I meet people that watch the show and stuff. It's really, really sweet. And it's very. I think also because of the UK culture, because if I see someone that I watch their stuff or like anything they do, I always go on my way to let them know, because I really believe it's important to let people, like, I really believe in giving people their flowers while they're alive to smell it. I really believe that. But you know, there's this UK culture thing of like being a beg and where, like, I find it so weird, because you do watch that person's stuff, you do listen to whatever they do, you do subscribe to like whatever it is that they're doing. So why do you see them and you feel like you don't want to? I think it's witchcraft mindset, because like, it's almost like you feel like you have to be the one to humble them. And I don't understand that. I will never understand that. Because why can't you, if you have the opportunity to, why can't you just say, "Oh, I really like what you do. I watch what you do." No one's saying you have to sit there and you know, be like the video, be I'm on my knees. No one's saying all of that. But like, come on. So every time people say that they watch the show and stuff, I always appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I feel like the people like that, they've got a very nice heart to make you know that what you do, keep going, kind of thing.
100%.
But anyway, big up every single person that supports TDA, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. And we can't wait to meet everybody in one building.
Yeah, for
soon.
real.
Take from that what you will. Anyway, we are on a time situation today.
We are indeed.
And I would like to just to Brent before I leave. Let's get into the headlines.
All right, people. So our first set of headlines: the Prime Minister has vowed to do whatever it takes to bring these thugs to justice as he addressed the nation amid rioting in the UK streets. I'm pretty sure everyone's heard about the riots or seen it, unfortunately, with their own eyes. So Keir Starmer said in the televised address, I guarantee you will regret taking part in this disorder, either directly or those whipping up this disorder online. Referring to a violent attack on a hotel in Rotherham thought to have housed migrants, he said there's no justification for taking this action. So Keir Starmer said that Muslims had been targeted along with other minority communities, adding that there were Nazi salutes in the streets. The Home Office announced on Sunday that mosques will be offered greater protection with new emergency security. It also said that mosques at risk of violent targeting can be provided with additional security personnel as part of a rapid security response to boost the work being done by local police. Next headline, which is also linked to this, and in case you guys have not seen, trigger warning in fact, a black man beaten by a mob, an Asian man stabbed at a train station, and mosques under siege. These are just some of the horrifying racist incidents carried out by these far-right thugs in England last week. The country had been engulfed by racist riots over the past few days in the wake of the killings of 3 young girls in Southport last Monday. Riots in cities including Liverpool, Leeds and Belfast descended into chaos over the weekend, with far-right thugs clashing with riot police and multiple incidents of ethnic minorities attacked on the streets. False claims had spread online that the Southport suspect, who was later identified as 17-year-old Axel Rudakubana from Lancashire, was a Muslim asylum seeker who had arrived in the UK by boat. Sparked by Islamophobic and racist sentiments, rioters had pelted bricks, chairs and bottles at officers. Mosques had been attacked, shops looted and numerous community facilities across the country, including the library and Citizen Advice Bureau building, have been torched in the violence. A far-right mob set fire to a hotel in Rotherham, used to house migrants as more violence blighted the UK on Sunday. Masked rioters, some draped in England flags, assembled outside of a Holiday Express hotel in South Yorkshire as they clashed with police. Some were heard chanting anti-Muslim campaign and founder of the far-right EDL League, Tommy Robinson's name. And in a televised address to the nation, the Prime Minister condemned the attack and promised that those involved in the widespread unrest would face the full force of the law. And our last headline, the BBC has removed a video of a teenager accused of murdering 3 girls in Southport after it emerged that he starred in a Children in Need advert. So a spokesperson for BBC Children in Need said that the clip was removed across all platforms out of respect for the victims. He also said that our deepest sympathies go out to everyone impacted by the shocking case. In a now deleted clip promoting the charity from 2018, Axel Ridikubana is seen leaving the TARDIS dressed as the Doctor, wearing a trench coat and tie that makes him look like the show's former star, David Tennant. A then 11-year-old Ridikubana tells viewers it's that time of year again, before offering advice on how best to raise the money. It's understood that the teenager was found for the video through a casting agency and had nothing to do with any Children in Need projects. The 17-year-old appeared at Liverpool Crown Court on Thursday, charged with the murders of the 3 young girls. And that's it for our headlines.
All right, let's get into our weird and topic of the day.
Yeah.
No, bro. You change first. All right, yeah, that's better. All right, people. So, our topic of the day for today is linked to those headlines pretty much, and this is obviously going to be about the far right rioters. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, last week, I believe it was on Friday, we spoke about there being at least 19 far right protests. But of course, these protests were not like the usual protests that we've seen in this country before. There's nothing peaceful about
Boy,
them.
not a
You know
damn
what I'm saying?
thing.
Nothing.
Damn thugs.
Exactly.
That's what they are.
And yeah, they've obviously targeted non-whites. They've targeted mosques. They've targeted police. They've targeted black people.
Hotels with carrying asylum seekers.
Everything.
Mad.
You know what I'm saying? And these were basically throughout the entire country, man. So yes, I just wanted to get into that. And what were your first thoughts seeing some of the imagery?
Why don't they do stuff like this in London? Because in my mind, London has more ethnics.
Yeah, that means there'll be more defense.
That's what I'm saying. So why don't you lot with your what? Why don't you bring that to London? I think it's disgusting, man. I think the crazy part of all of this is that they're actually not doing this because out of the goodness of the heart of like a save our kids situation. They've just used the poor deaths of these children with families that should be mourning. Well, unless the family's out on ground too, then, you know. But they've just used this incident, this sad incident, to fuel their crazy agenda. But I can't imagine how people around those areas are feeling. Not the white people, of course. The people that are being attacked. I can't imagine how they're feeling. That must be very, very scary and stuff. Thank God it's even summer holidays. Because imagine trying to take your kids to school and stuff like that. So I can't imagine how they're feeling. So it's very sad. The reality of it is very, very sad.
Marks, good morning.
Morning,
Morning,
guys.
sunshine. You're dressed as like... It's really your season, babes.
It's summer, man. Let's go for it. Oh, wait, they fixed me.
You get on my nerves, because you know it was already... You're so annoying.
I didn't look. I didn't see.
Sir. He said, I didn't look, I didn't see. You see him standing up there.
Graham got man.
Yeah, where do you go?
It was my son's birthday.
Oh, really? Oh. Happy birthday to him.
Big him up.
Our future Marks.
On the holiday, so.
Oh, that's sweet. That's a good daddy, child. That's a good... Because you could have said, oh, do something with somebody else. I'll catch you on Sunday.
So I missed it, man.
That's good. Did Loons go?
Yeah, Loons and Beanos, man.
I saw Beanos looked wonderful. Beanos looked clean. Looking like a billionaire.
I told you, make sure you go and represent. You
No,
hear me?
Beanos represented. Beanos represented. Love that. Have you seen this picture?
Yeah, I see you on that Taser talk.
Proper sick. Was it Taser with his camera?
Yeah. Taser's,
Yeah, man, sick.
Taser's
Proper
addicted.
sick. Proper sick.
Are you going through the looks?
No.
Oh, okay.
So there's race wars happening.
Word on the road, isn't it?
You know, when I saw Taser's pictures, I automatically just pictured him walking around all of those elites with his camera.
Yeah.
And it warmed my heart.
Right.
Because he's an elite, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, Chucky was behind the decks.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
so they
it,
were
yeah.
servicemen. Do you understand? That's so
Yeah.
weird. Two successful black men going to serve, you know, the black community.
No one ain't looking at that. You know they get annoyed when rich people get hobbies. You know, like someone went their whole life, done uni and all that to
You
work
picked
out the
up a
angles,
camera.
and you just picked up your camera, and now you're getting snaps. Now you know they're not rating that.
That's so
I
funny.
can't stand when rich people get hobbies.
I can't stand it. That is so funny.
Anyway, race wars.
Yes. What's your
Yeah,
thoughts when you saw the imagery?
I'm still trying to work out what's going on.
Bro.
Because you know I got a weird relationship with the internet. I just be seeing shit sometimes and it just be passing me and I'm thinking, what's going on here? And then I keep hearing about the MDL.
Mm-hmm.
Is that real?
Yeah, man. I mean, we sat down and thought we need to do something. You know what I'm saying?
I see the boys running through the streets in Bolton and that.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them protecting mosques. I've seen everything going off. I'm saying, oh my God, this is really happening.
Can you retweet the tweet, please?
What?
Can you retweet the tweet, please? Amplify it. Thank you very much.
But what's
So
your
like, yeah, I was
thoughts?
thinking maybe we might actually get into civil war status.
You already know how I feel about that. My boots would not be at the ground.
But,
Crazy times.
but what was your thoughts when you saw everything?
There were lots of thoughts. My first initial thoughts were, oh my goodness, this is going to get worse before it gets better. Then my mind went to, wait a minute. So if this goes where we think it's going to go, then there's going to be a clampdown on free speech on Twitter. Because I think they're going to blame a lot of the rioting on the freedom that Elon Musk allows on Twitter, or the freedom that he doesn't look to clamp down on, or the hate he doesn't look to clamp down on. I think that's a way to basically bring in some policies to lock Twitter down more than it is, no, than it used to be.
Well, how are they going to do that to him?
They used to look to remove people for spreading misinformation, innit?
But that's when they was working with the government.
Who was working with the government?
Twitter.
Yeah, that's when Jack was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not anymore. So how are they going to make him do anything?
Because they might block Twitter from these shows.
If you not go that far?
They might say you could only run on these shows if it is that you comply with this.
Don't see it.
That's a big move, though.
Yeah, 100%. This could be the. I don't think it's just a case of they're just rioting. I think there's a bigger picture involved, and I don't think it's my conspiracy hat going off.
So what's the bigger picture?
I just told you.
What, freedom of speech?
Yeah, locking it off, and then saying that we can't do certain things.
The rioters wouldn't want that, though.
Huh?
You're saying it's a conspiracy. It's the right. Whose plan is that? The rioters' plans?
No.
Oh, the government's plan.
Yeah.
So they're letting them riot.
Yeah.
So they can take away their
And
freedoms.
they're making it look as though they are just protecting the others as opposed to the masses of the white Brits.
Is that what they've been doing? Just protecting?
That's what Tommy and them boys are basically chanting. The two-tier policing. We're not getting fair governance from the police. When it is that they're them lot doing their BLMs and their Save Palestine marches, you're not getting onto them.
Just because they're protests, not riots.
Yeah, they're not burning things down.
Who protects rioters? Like when do rioters ever get protection? What are they talking about? Doesn't even make no sense.
100%. But when Tommy and their boys are talking, they were saying that they were, peacefully protesting, and then they got heavy-handed and they locked up Tommy. Do you understand?
What, when they went out for Cruella the other day?
Cruella?
They was coming to fight.
You talking about last weekend? Or you talking about
When this
Wait,
all
When they went to
started-
the Citadel, whatever it's called.
No, you're talking about last weekend.
Yeah, just
Oh.
just the other day.
Why? What did they do last weekend?
He got arrested. Was it in Kent?
Yeah, he released a video that was banned
Yeah,
from
documentary called Silence, I think.
social media.
Something like that.
Yeah. And so this kind of all kicked off, innit? Enough is enough.
Ain't this started from the
Yeah,
from
from-
the kids getting stabbed?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he officially went to organize a protest. Enough is enough.
After the stabbings.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that he's got a black partner?
Who does?
Tommy. Is that him that was in the picture?
I don't think he would have.
Was that not him?
Partner.
Partner and what?
As in like a woman. There's a black, she's got, let me try and find it. I think it's him. I don't know these white men, child. I'll have a look. I'm sure there's a whole thing about him having a, it must be him, because he's the only person people are talking about right now, isn't it? In terms of this whole, the riot stuff and like, he's like the Andrew Tate to these rioters, right?
Yeah, but I don't think Tommy's got a black guy though.
No way.
Who was it then?
He don't strike me as the black guy.
It's someone that's been involved in the conversation about all the riots that's going on and stuff. And he's basically moving. Let me find it. Oh, how am I going to find it? I can't remember where it was
Where's
from.
Burberry?
Yeah, in the chat they're saying it's not Tommy.
I'd
It's
say
some,
that-
some
it's
other
not.
guy.
Oh, okay.
What?
It's from Burberry.
Nothing. I still think he has a black partner.
Yeah, in the chat they're
Yeah,
saying
they're saying it's not him.
somebody else.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I was very shy for sis. So.
Yeah, so those are my first thoughts. I think it's bigger than just the riots. Or they will capitalize on the riots and then look to bring in something else. Like, to clamp down on our freedoms.
So, okay. So are you just saying that obviously the government is just kind of seen as an opportunity to then push the whole let's curb everyone's freedom of speech? Because obviously they didn't spark the riots. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. So are you also saying that both governments, i.e. if it was a Tory government or if it was a Labour government, they would have been in cahoots trying to push for this curbed freedom of speech?
Yeah, I don't see them as separate as you are. I'm talking about the
overall establishment.
Yeah. I don't know if it is that it would be any different with the Labour. I still feel as though they don't like that Elon Musk has his way, and what he does or doesn't do on his platform can cause so much disruption and disturbance on their lands.
But is that the best way to go about this though? Because why can't we fight the disinformation with real information? Why does it have to be a lockdown of information?
Can you remember the clip that I sent you where the
Should we play it?
the police sergeant was there saying, I think we need to start reporting what's actually happened, the actual nuance, because that's what is
On the BBC,
causing
right?
a lot of, causing
Brent-
a lot of nonsense.
But it's gonna play. But basically, it's about a Met Police superintendent he basically, to the reporter that he's talking to, she kind of sees it as him kind of just veering off on one and ranting. But he's trying to say, listen, people are conflating all the different information that's going on in this country, and that's what's causing these riots. And they try to shut him down and say, yeah, none of this is related. And he's like, no, but it is related. It's like, because people think it's related. That's why it's related. You know what I'm saying? And so obviously he's linking it because they're pretty much saying just because something happened in Southport doesn't mean people have a right to go and violently protest. But the reality is, to these far-right rioters, they think all of this stuff is related. They think their borders are under attack. They think Muslims and asylum seekers are coming through the River Thames and all sorts and killing their kids. You know what I'm saying? So this is why they're responding like this. And if the media is not coming out and addressing it in the way it needs to be addressed, they're going to keep thinking it's nonsense. You know what I mean? But the BBC weren't giving them no time. You got it, Brent?
I thought it was actually in the doc.
No.
I'm just putting it in my email, sending it to myself.
How many riots was there?
Going to click.
I'm not too sure. All I know is on Friday when we spoke about it, there was at least 19 that were organised, at least.
So you're saying the police really cannot control these things?
Well, this is the thing though. So,
Where's the army? Are they at war?
That would be crazy if they put the army in though.
But it's getting crazy though.
Say martial law, yeah.
That would be insane.
But you're
They
burning
don't even have the
hotels.
numbers. They
That's
only
housing,
control people because they let them. They don't even have the numbers.
bro.
And this is what they said, that apparently an extra 4,000 people have been taken away from other duties to come in and support the police that were actually put there on the ground.
Because when does it get too far? I guess if Rishi Sunak was still in number 10, they might have gone to get him. Is that when it gets too far? Because how can you set fire to a hotel because in there's asylum seekers? Do you know how mad that is?
You know, it's summer holidays, isn't it? So them kids are out, and bare them are kids, isn't it? The ones I'm seeing kicking in windows and like hotels and Greggs and stuff.
Oh, the rioters, you're saying?
Yeah, bare them are kids.
They're looting and thing.
Opportunists.
They're looting like coffee shops and getting croissants and.
Or a latte. Are you looting a latte? Really? Yeah. Can I get a latte? And you run out with it. That's so cheeky. Are you flipping looting sausage rolls? Or you just dream big?
Because it's my colleagues and my family members who are in the front line dealing with this. They're taking the brickbats. What I'm saying is, you have to be very careful now with tempers the way they are and people's sense of angst of what had gone on in the preceding couple of days, where you'd had an army officer stabbed in the back, the misleading representation in the northwest where this occurred.
That's a different case there, Kevin, so we'll leave it there. That's Kevin Hurley.
No, they're not. You're missing the point. All of you are missing the point. People conflate this and they make two
I think
and two, and they make five.
Worsening that conflation by mentioning the two cases together here, so we'll leave it there.
What's he talking about?
Kevin Hurley, who's the former detective chief superintendent.
I don't get it.
He's talking about how people are seeing all the different things around the country and reacting to that, and this is happening. But she's basically saying, don't link these protests to what happened in Southport, because they're not linked. Because otherwise, you're almost justifying why they are behaving in this sort of way.
So what else? What other things are happening that he's linking to it?
Maybe the immigration thing, all different things. You know what I'm saying?
So, question, right? First of all, because I have a few questions, because I know that we have mixed audience at this point in time, right? There's some whites looking, right? I'm gonna give them a fair shake. I asked on Friday if all of the people at the riots or the protests are far right. Remember when I asked you that?
Yeah.
And what did you say?
I can't remember. No?
How about you, Emmanuel?
Maybe I said no.
No, I think you said yes. Like, why would you be there if this sort of thing? Yeah.
Oh,
and
you
I
went
was
to
saying
Hong Kong
no.
about that, didn't you?
Yeah, and I was saying no.
And you still say no, yeah?
I don't think so, you know.
because
these are not, these ain't protests. Like, every man there's active.
Like,
You know what I'm saying?
you mean the videos that you're seeing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to be honest.
Yeah.
Question: is it bad? Because some of them are getting interviewed, and the videos that are making its way on social media, it's white people saying we're not EDL, and we don't like the fact that you're calling us EDL.
well,
right?
right? Them even more
That's
angry.
true.
Now, should they be called EDL if they're not really EDL?
You're doing EDL things.
So you say that
You're doing if you
you're
look
walking
like
a
EDL, sound like EDL, walk like EDL, you're EDL, bro. But we're a different group. Same motives, same heart.
because they don't want to be reduced to that racist title.
Yeah, but again, when I was asking on Friday, what's their aim? Like, what is the point of the march? Like, what's the slogan? What are they going for?
So I guess that policeman is basically trying to say it's more nuanced than one is reporting, right? There's a lot of frustration, and he's also suggesting that there's been a lot of misinformation, disinformation that's found their way in front of their screens. So they've come out to then say enough is enough, right? Each time it is, Tommy Robinson puts up a video, and even Andrew Tate. I'm not sure if you've seen the videos that Andrew Tate has been putting out. He's trying to backtrack now. Have you seen it?
And no, I scroll past him. I see him tweeting and acting like a fool, so I don't look.
How about you, Manuel?
No, I'm not saying it.
And he's even looking to directly talk to Muslims now because they're getting onto him for what the behavior that he's carrying on with. It looks like he's literally pointing the finger, the blame at Muslims, just Islam, full stop. Do you understand? And they're getting onto him. What the hell are you doing? You just converted. You're not supposed to be doing this, right? He's put out a picture. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. I've bookmarked quite a few of them. He was one of the people who was responsible for making the public think that the stabbing was some legal immigrant that came on one of the boats. Understand?
Okay.
And the video that he put up was very impassioned. You know how it is he records the videos. And then he put up a picture of a typical migrant. Let me send it to myself. Continue talking. I'll just put it up afterwards.
Remember we asked the question about, just a minute ago about like how, I think it was you that mentioned about how are things kind of being conflated and things like nature. Yeah? I want to play a clip. Yeah, we can't play it on TV on the live. Yeah, so I'll play the audio. And this is from Talk TV. This is Alex Phillips, and she's got a guest, and she's basically kind of goes off on one. She talks about what's going on, and the way she's talking, it's like she's pretty much, I think, in the best way possible, kind of showed what that police officer was talking about and how people just relating everything and coming to these conclusions of, well, we need to do something. And she's talking about, British people, we're not rioters. We're not like the French. They do this as a bloody national sport. So obviously this has something has caused us to behave like this. So I'm playing it for you guys.
Confused and are angry, and the Brits don't riot really. It's not something that we really do. The French love it. It's a national sport over there, but we don't tend to do it. But if there's one thing that's going to get a British man out on the street, it's the defence of his country. And I think that's the thing here. It's an existential feeling among people, and rightly so, because the volume's been turned up. They've been pushing, frankly, the limits of our tolerance for a long time now. Every single week, all these people going out on their pro-Palestine marches for a foreign war that's got nothing to do with us. I don't care how many people try and join the dots and suggest that we're giving Israel weapons. We're not. We're selling them 0.1% of the stuff they put into weaponry, which is dual-use goods. They could have just as easily been putting those buttons and widgets on hospital equipment or, children's toys. We're not giving Israel weapons. There's nothing we can do to stop what is unfolding over there. Yet this is playing out on our streets. Why? Because this is a war of religion. This is Muslim versus Jew. That's why this is so impassioned, and people are being swept up in this war of foreign ideologies, and they're playing out on our streets week after week after week with people carrying signs written in Arabic, shouting words in Arabic that we all suddenly have to scramble to learn, and then we're told, oh, no, it doesn't mean this, it means this. And then we're to the sea, oh, it means this, no, it means that. Infertile, oh, it means this, no, it means that. I mean, that's been happening, and people sitting here, ordinary people, are going, what on earth has this got to do with us? We have seen mob rule when there was an incident, political incident in Bangladesh, and they all turned out and started, kicking off in a borough of London. We've seen, as you said, the Manchester airport scenario, and guess what? They all turned up again, didn't they, outside a police station, like they turn up outside school gates when a Quran is scuffed. This has been going on and on and on, and the temperature's gradually being turned up constantly, not helped, of course, by absolute boneheads who throw orange paint at Stonehenge and, sit on, bridges.
Yeah. See how everything was thrown in there? Everything.
So we just stop on it.
You know what I'm saying? So I think this is what I think the average person out there, this is even meant to be somebody who's somewhat of an intellectual, imagine, or at least a journalist to some degree. Imagine the average person out there who doesn't have access to this information, who's hearing this, who's not going to take any time to actually think about things critically. They're just being like, cool, these foreigners are the cause of this.
So this is the picture that Andrew Tate put up, and it says, typical man from Cardiff.
Insane.
Do you understand?
He's insane. He's insane.
So the thing is, it's so weird because a lot of the people that you're seeing kicking off, they didn't need a reason. They just wanted an excuse to go out and then beat up browns
basically
and blacks. They just wanted the reason. Have you seen the? No, I'm going to ask you. Have you seen? I'm just going to put it up and show you. And it hasn't touched London yet, obviously. But there was like a group of men at a crossroads, just a stone's throw away from the police. They are checking every single car that passes, and they're asking them, "Are you white?" If it is that they see that they're not white, they start attacking the car.
Oh, I think I ain't seen it, but I read that passage I see them, they're in a crossroad. They're directing traffic, basically, isn't it?
It's insane.
And the thing is, at this point now, I guess all of Britain can see what it's turned into. So if you do now come out, you're going to be brandished with this moniker. Do you understand? At this point. Because you can't keep saying I'm not here for this. Because it is what it is at this point, right? Yeah. And obviously you're seeing a group of men who they've now kind of given the title to Muslim Defense League. I don't know if it is that they've given themselves that title. I think that it's been used as a hashtag by the EDL people to basically say, well, if it is you're giving us the EDL, we'll give you the MDL. Do you understand?
I don't know why they don't just embrace it.
Yeah? You think that they should be doing that?
Yeah, why not? Apparently there's nothing wrong with the EDL, so what's wrong with the Muslim Defense League? They're defending shit, innit? And we're Muslim, like, what are you talking about? I'd embrace it.
They've the ones I've seen, they've raised the bar of violence. I'm not even laughing at it, but they've come up with weapons. Yeah. And obviously, you know how rightfully so they take their religion seriously. 100%. And if it is that you're looking to burn mosques, and if it is that they're seeing videos of like innocent women having their garments torn asunder, obviously they're gonna be enraged. Yeah. Do you understand? So they've said, all right, cool. If it is you think we're just gonna peacefully like sit here whilst it is that you mash up everything that we know and love, you got another thing coming. And I saw it was ginger guy, a revert, and he was shouting. It looked very
What, powerful?
It did. It did.
No, but you can't behave like this though. And the thing is though, do you feel like at least
Yo. Big Jake right there, big Jakey boy.
That grey car wasn't. They got you real quick.
Fucking hell.
This person's in a wheelchair.
These people are idiots. Why don't I'll just run them over? Like, this ain't even... I don't understand why people make problems out of nothing. This ain't even a problem. Why does someone just run them over?
That's exactly what I was thinking. You see the other footage? They was stepping on that, jumping on one man's car.
And he was in the car?
Yeah, he was trying to drive.
He was trying to drive?
Yeah, exactly, trying. Because he should have been out of there.
I would have accelerated so bad.
Reverse.
When your eyes open, you are with your maker.
Let me
and I'm doing time in jail happily.
Let me try and find it.
Sitting there joyful as heck every day.
It was insane. I was thinking, why are you
I'm trying to. Imagine someone standing on my car, attacking me, and I'm trying to drive. Is it standing on the accelerator or the brake? I'm trying to drive.
It was ridiculous.
I'd have moved up in gig 5, chow.
But you know what the thing is, yeah? I want to ask you guys, is it fair to just say, in fact, let me not say is it fair. Do you feel like some of this stuff is linked to some ideological stance? Or do you feel like this is just an excuse for people to just cause violence? I know it's kind of hard to lump everything into one.
When you say ideological stance, because I'm thinking racism.
Okay.
So because racism, that's their belief. Because the thing is, yeah, racist people never believe they're racist. Like they will, rarely do you get occasionally you do get the racists that are like, no, I just don't like black people. I don't like colored people. Like, they're very straight with it. But a lot of racists are not. So these people that are up and down the streets, they're racist. They're racist because even the kids that were killed, didn't one of them like Latina, something like that? Not all of them are white kids. Yeah. One of them is a quote unquote foreigner. So, yeah, like they're just racist.
Yeah, and to be fair, I even saw a police. I can't remember her position, but she was obviously higher up in some thingy, and she was basically saying this isn't linked to anything really politically, and we shouldn't kind of even give it the time of day, because if it was, people should be able to protest peacefully. You know what I'm saying, and make their issues known. But still, you don't need to resort to this sort of violence. This is just people who want to go out there and destroy communities. You know what I'm saying? And in the same way, they should be locked up like immediately. There should be nothing to even discuss. You know what I'm saying? So
Everest is saying stuff in the chat and also sending stuff on the phone.
Okay.
I'm guessing in defense of Tate, I guess just to give him a fair shake, he said, he is saying illegal immigrant Islam, Christians, etc. shouldn't be allowed in the UK. I know that he gave a bit more quote-unquote clarity after the fact. This is after people started getting onto him for the incendiary comments and tweets that he'd been putting out and videos that he'd been putting out. He's actually looking and sounding like he's trying to backtrack now and give more color to what it is that he initially did. But I think it's too late.
It's too late.
I think Everest. I think it's too late. I think he's done a lot of damage. I think he's done too much damage for you now to be saying, why didn't people understand what he was saying when he was being like deliberately
obtuse?
Do you understand?
And I think that's the problem sometimes. You can't backtrack. Like, you got to read the room. When you're going to post stuff and whatever, you got to read the room, and you saw what the temperature was like. You saw what the climate was. You saw what was going on. And then you thought that was a good time to then do that. Like, this is not, I feel like when certain things are happening, this is not the time for your cryptic messages. This is not the time for people, for a parable or a double anything. This is not a time to try and be clever about what it is that you're saying. Did that shit. Guilty AF.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. I don't know if it is that you're doing this because you're a really big Andrew Tate fan, or you're not his fan, and you think that I am looking to characterize the events unfairly, but it's not me. I'm reporting on what it is I've been seeing, and it was when the stabbings happened. He released a video that was like, it would have stood up anybody. I think also, over the weekend, Lippy's been trying to show a lot of men that have been getting onto him over the months or years. You know, he doesn't like Andrew Tate. He's now showing them. You see what he's doing? You same guys, come and talk to me now. Look what your Muslim brother's doing. Do you understand? So it's not, I don't think I'm being unfair to Andrew Tate. I think he's looking to walk it back now. I think even Tommy Robinson's looking to distance himself from the madness that's happening.
Because this is far.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking about save our kids or whatever, but there's kids in the hotels and like the homes you're attacking and stuff, and there's kids in there as well. So if you're gonna say that it's not because you're racist and it's because of the injustice happening with these children, the children being attacked as a result of the things that you're doing. So of course now they're going to want to separate themselves, because the last thing you want to be seen is as a leader or as an influencer that, you know, fueled this foolishness.
Have these riots finished, or they got more coming?
Got more.
Remember there's a whole list of places that they need to hit.
Trying to cover.
Yeah.
So how many was? You said there was like 19 or something.
19, at least 19.
So how many of them went?
Friday?
How many of them went? On? Was that all on Friday? All 19?
No, well, on Friday they reported that there will be at least 19. So I'm not too sure how many was actually rolled out though. But yeah.
It's sad, man. I feel bad for the people that live in these areas. I can't imagine how scary that is. That's horrible. And they're literally just walking through the streets and just kicking in people's doors just for the sake of it. You got children in there. Like, that's just so horrible. So horrible.
Yeah, I think everybody on the streets at this point in time, you have to take the brandishing. Whatever is slapped on you right now, you have to take it. You can't basically say, I didn't turn up for this.
So what exactly are they doing?
They're banging in their own shops, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, the opportunists. Those are who are looking to thief. Like, what do you normally have in Greg's? Those things that you like.
Steak, possession drones and steak bakes. Can you imagine like going to Lutz, yeah, and you're going to do steak bakes?
Turning the oven on.
Can you imagine? Your boys like, come on, like, no man, look at 1 minute on the timer.
Obviously,
get your over mitts on.
it's mixed in with those people who are just out to basically
just cause chaos,
their anger,
yeah.
Get out their frustrations against, you know, all of those particular black and brown people that they just wanted to do for time. Obviously, they've now got a little help.
But you know what's funny though? Some people definitely don't know where they're out there. Like Auntie with the Titanic analogy. I think some of them don't actually know like where this even started from. Because not everyone's on the internet, not everyone watches the news, not everyone reads the papers and stuff. But they're just saying, oh, it's a revolution. All right, it's time, let's go.
Well, ain't enough to be said for them wanting their country back.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Too
Because
many-
in the initial
too many.
in initial stats in the beginning, the whole peaceful protest could have been said, all right, cool, what are your grievances? Talk to me. Right? But then at this point now, it's on a riot thing.
Yeah, because their voices ain't heard, innit?
Talk to me. No, go on. We're not thinking that you believe this. You're speaking on their behalf for this discussion.
You can't believe it. They'll come and get you like, after. Like,
Well, I did represent
they'll
reform.
get you back to Jamaica real quick.
I did represent reform, so I got a bit of cachet with them, man. You get me? And I've done a good job. Wait, let me see. Wait, where's we?
Where is we?
Where are you?
Oh, sorry.
We're trying to find out where you are.
Okay, cool. So like all them like, they're just like all the Trump voters and that, innit?
That's not fair on Trump.
No, because obviously that's how you appeal to them. 'cause
That's
there
the
was like
line you want to go with.
There was like they're like that forgotten class and never had no voice and stuff like that. And I think they're doing all that stuff in it. So it's because a lot of lower class whites that's rioting in it. You get what I'm trying to say? So their frustrations is not feeling supported. Remember, we're going through recession, cost of living crisis, all these things. NHS is mashed up, housing thing, homelessness. We're going through everything, innit? And obviously, them being the low-level whites, they're feeling it probably the most, yeah. And it's their country. So then when they see people on benefits and getting looked after, and even though some of the stuff that they're saying is hyperinflated and they're talking nonsense, but there is stuff happening where immigrants can come over and get housing and get benefits and get whatnot. And obviously, and they're still in their slums, getting angry, innit? Feeling like they're not being helped, not being heard. And so they go out and burn the mosque.
All right. So you said it's hyperinflated. Is it though? In London,
Yeah, but
we can only speak about London.
that's true. But when they're saying that they're putting up immigrants in 5-star hotels and stuff like that, like, they're not doing this.
It's not
stuff.
5 stars, Premier Inn. Is that what you're saying?
But-
That's where the false information is coming from.
Well, no, but it's not
5-star.
even. It's like, I swear, it's like
It's like it was a
places
Holiday Inn.
places that used to be hotels, and then they take them down and decommission them, and then set them up for things like that. They're telling the stories like these men are in hotels, like with room service and that and housekeeping, like
Where are they getting information from?
internet or something. Andrew Tate.
No, it's.
Taking the buzzwords. The internet.
I think the information is coming from somewhere, right? And those people would probably need to be held most accountable for this.
The one
because-
spreading information.
Yes, but I'm not
Well,
saying
it's the government. The government's got his hand on the
The
media.
previous government, you're saying.
Yeah,
The Conservatives.
yeah,
Because they were pushing this heavy
yeah. For ages, for the
for
longest time.
ages, right? And if they're now seeing in their towns and cities, they're seeing a growth in numbers of all these foreigners, and they're hearing from the mainstream platforms, outlets, that they're coming in illegally, right? And we need to stop this, that, and the next. What are they going to be thinking? That their demise is intrinsically linked to that. Do you understand? So they're seeing our ops are right over there. We need to get them when it is we have an opportunity. Do you- And now that they're now stabbing up our innocent babies in Taylor Swift themed thingamajiggies, we have to basically stand for our country now. Enough is enough. And that misinformation was going everywhere. It was another one of them illegal one, this and next. Remember, they're also spouting these quote unquote Asian grooming gangs that are raping our women. Sorry, trigger warning. And sometimes we see it reported on the news, like after they've done all this and next. But they're living it, quote unquote. They're living it in their towns and cities. They're living it. So I don't think this has started in London. These like videos that we're seeing, these images we're seeing, it's not in London yet. It's on them other towns and whatnot.
But do you feel like it's a case of maybe the other towns, that we're speaking of, they're trying to destroy these places whilst recruiting people in those towns? Kind of like what would happen in a war?
What do you mean?
So, for example, say, in the past life, for example, say you went through, you attacked a particular country. you may, obviously you're attacking the main civilians and taking their stuff, but you take into your army the people who also live there. And then this is when you start converting them into whatever your belief system is and stuff like that. So, for example, the average white person who maybe is kind of neutral, sees certain things and feels like, the rioters are going too far, things of that nature. When these rioters come to their towns and start destroying things and tell them, listen, you're either for or against us, and they're forced to make a decision.
Oh, you're saying they're going knocking on doors and saying, are you with us?
I'm saying, could it lead to that, though? Because essentially, this will be a numbers game. If it, like I said earlier, if the police are saying, listen, we had to take 4,000 police officers from other duties to support those who are at these protests, riots, right? Like, if the numbers are large enough, you're going to overwhelm the police.
Oh, so you've jumped to the recruitment stage, as in if this actually is a standoff and Tommy says, let's have it, right? You're saying that's how they're going to go door to door to recruit?
It may not even be, like a standoff and a fight sort of thing. It may just be, let's still destroy what's going on, like the communities, and the police can't do anything about it because there's just too many of us. You know what I'm saying? So Tommy or whoever is in a position of leadership may not give the word to, attack the police, but keep doing what you're doing so that they feel it, so the government knows we're not messing about.
But that's what he's been saying. He's been saying the only time it is that they listen to us is when there's violence. He didn't say go and such, right? But in so many words, you don't have to. Like Farage was there, sat down, I think in early days, and he was like, well, some reports say this is happening. Some reports say this is happening. Oh, this might lead to such and such. Do you understand? That's kind of coded. For those who are waiting for the signal, that's their signal. And he knows as much. Do you understand? Question. Can you not see how there's so much hatred towards Islam and those who practice it off the back of what the scenes that we're seeing?
Yeah.
Because even though information has gone out that, hey, this had nothing to do with an Islamic fella with this, the Christian Rwandan guy, right? They're now on when I say they, those EDL / far right / racist / whatever, right? They're on all right, now that we're out, we have an opportunity to basically, whilst we're out, to mash up anything that's moving that's black or brown. Do you understand? They have this pent up hatred and all these particular stereotypes in their heads. They just want them out. So for the longest while, it's just been bubbling. They haven't had the opportunity to basically, vent what they need to vent. And now they're just doing it. And whilst they're out, they don't care about the stabbing up anymore. Forget about the whole incidents of the 3 innocent girls. Right now, we have an opportunity to basically get rid of them or make a stand so that everybody knows we don't like them and their customs. So let's just get them. That's why anybody who's out now has to be mad with that same brush. They have to be tied with that same brush.
Yeah, I suppose now you've seen the effects of the rioting, innit? Beforehand, you didn't know, so now you've seen what's going on. If you're out with them, you're co-signing it, innit?
And I think that's the easiest way, like I was saying, going back to the recruiting thing, that's the easiest way to recruit people. Because you can say, listen, the violence, guys, listen, we just had to do what we're doing, but long term, we don't want to be violent. This is our country. But tell me, guys, even though you're trying to take a neutral position, look, does this place look like England anymore? That's all you need to say to these people who are on the fence.
You know how crazy it is?
It's crazy, of course.
You know how crazy it is to get a knock on the door? You say, look out there, does it look like England?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's what will get these people. Because there's not enough people right now writing to cause long-term. But you know what? That's the thing. You're looking at people. I remember we've already reported on the news like earlier this year and even last year about how the prisons are full. So where are these people going? You know what I'm saying? Like,
the thing is,
this is crazy.
Their suffering is well documented, right?
Who's?
Good old Britain.
Okay.
The workers at much is that you were referring to, that class, right?
Okay.
It's well documented, right? And obviously, we may not be seeing that 24/7 on our TVs and our screens and whatnot, and that's probably why they're so vexed, because a lot of the stuff that they are seeing is of the minorities. Do you understand? So where we're screaming, we need help, we need help, we need help, and it's not being amplified, at some point, we need to basically get you to listen in a different way, right? Why did I start talking about this?
You lost your train of thought.
Channel 4?
I said you lost your train of thought.
Yes. They need help, they need help, they need help. Screaming. Never mind.
How can you scream after saying screaming?
Come up to me.
It was poignant.
Hopefully it comes back to you. I want to ask 2 questions, because it's in the chat. Somebody asked, are we saying that there's zero justification for anger and frustration? Is it all misinformation, ignorance, and racism? Which is kind of what you was talking to. Like, if...
Got it.
All right, good. Yeah, we'll come back to this comment.
So, well documented their suffering, right? It is well documented.
Who's suffering there?
This guy.
Yeah, because every time you say that, we're going to ask who's suffering.
The whites.
Okay.
The whites. Well documented suffering. Crap.
You're talking about the so-called working class.
Yes, because you're not going to be seeing them bankers and whatnot coming out that man, young.
Yeah.
It's not the upper class that are coming out writing. Do you understand? It's the lower class, right? It's the poor, it's disenfranchised, and all of their vexation, their anger, is being taken out on the quote unquote reasons that they've been told that they are suffering. And all of that is on the feet and table of the Conservatives.
Okay.
All of that. Like all of it. Now, obviously, Sir Keir Starmer has to deal with this in his first, month in office.
Oh.
And it's going to be his legacy
Yep.
that this is basically stamped on.
You're tough, right? You tough, right?
But that happens to every government.
That's what I was going to say, because Theresa May had, Brexit?
Yeah.
Boris had, what's it called?
No, what you're doing? What you're mentioning? Who's before?
Before who?
Who was in power
Rishi.
before? When you said Theresa had Brexit, who was in power before?
David.
So who? What party?
Tories.
Eh.
No, but
It's
I
all
mean...
Tories.
Oh, yes, I keep forgetting.
It's all Tories.
Yeah, but you know, he quacks like a Tory. I forget.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
all
yeah,
Tories.
yeah.
They're responsible for all of this.
What is the this that you're talking about?
The suffering of the whites.
That's not thingy though, isn't it? Is that really fair though? To say that the Conservatives cause...
What do you think, Mags? What do you think?
That'll do it.
Mr. LBC, you're tuned into the streets. Who's responsible for the suffering of the whites?
This is a wild conversation. Anyone tuning in at this point?
Yeah.
Like, wow.
No, but the former government is responsible for the position that we're in now, isn't it? Ain't that fair to say?
He's talking to you, man, yo.
Yeah, I know.
Because you said it wasn't fair
But
to
it
say
almost
that.
implies that there was no quote unquote suffering whites ever until 2010.
No, they're just suffering more.
He knows what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about. Because at this point, it's breaking point. We are now seeing breaking point. And who has been in power for the entire time? Who's been
Conservatives.
allowing this particular speech?
It's the Conservatives. But to answer that question, in the
Remember,
chat-
they were told that Brexit would solve everything for them. All their suffering.
yeah, they're allowed to. They're suffering more.
All of
but
their
the Tories
suffering.
never told
They
them that,
came out in numbers to vote for Brexit because they were told this would fix all of their ailments.
But the Tories never told him that.
Excuse me?
Right? The Tories never told him that.
Talk to me.
The Tories never told him, yo, Brexit is the way to go. Remember,
Talk to me.
The incumbent government, right, with Cameron at the helm, was saying, listen, we need to stay in Europe. That's what he was saying.
What are you talking about? What are you actually talking about? Yes,
talking about Brexit?
100%.
So what was Cameron
You were
saying?
saying the Conservatives weren't saying, yes, let's get out?
Yeah, I'm not talking about some of the fringe people.
What was Cameron saying with his
He
mouth?
wanted to stay in Europe. David Cameron, he wanted to stay in Europe. This is why when we voted for Brexit, he said, I can't take you.
Who brought the referendum to the fore?
Cameron did.
So what are you talking about?
But he didn't want to leave. He was trying to shut it down. But he wanted it. He thought, if I can get the people to say, listen, it's similar to the whole referendum in Scotland. We give them the vote so that when they say we want to stay, we can shut them up.
Yeah, and as soon as we left, he left.
Then he left. He didn't want it.
Sorry, what was Boris Johnson saying?
Boris wanted it. That's what I said to you. Some people wanted it.
What was
But
Boris
the-
Johnson saying?
That we should leave.
And whose party was Boris Johnson in?
The Tories.
So what are you talking about?
What's that got to do with
But they
what
were
I'm talking about
divided,
the Tories
though,
as a
on
whole?
where they stood with that.
100% every party was divided.
Yeah.
Because it was put as, this is what the people want.
Yeah.
Right? And Boris Johnson, you could see that he was going to be the next what?
Well, party leader.
He was the most loved party member, right? So when you're suggesting that the Tories wanted to stay in, that is incorrect.
No, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I don't agree with that.
I wouldn't say the Tories wanted to stay in. I
No.
would say Cameron wanted to stay in.
Cameron,
But they were divided in the party.
Yes,
But I feel like
100%.
he definitely did the whole, we'll have the referendum so you guys can finally shut up about this and stop bringing it up.
Yeah.
And then it went the opposite way to what he would have liked. And he quit very quickly.
Emmanuel, Labour was screaming in.
Yeah.
Tory was screaming out.
No, that wasn't the case.
I can't. I agree that there were people in the Tory party who were saying that we should stay in. I agree
More people,
that.
Brent. I'm saying more people.
You saying the majority of the Tory party wanted to stay
I
in?
believe so, yes.
Holy.
That's what I believe. 100%. That's what I believe. I think more people thought that. And I think Cameron thought the nation would agree with him. That's why he gambled. Otherwise, why would you gamble on such a silly thingy? Plus, look how close it was. 52 to 48%. That was with all the nonsense of Boris Johnson and Farage. So Cameron did not see any of this happening. Cameron thought, I can shut these guys up once and for all. Because remember, the whole debate of leaving the EU had been going back long before Cameron. Before Cameron.
Did Cameron openly make the same arguments that the Labour party members were making to stay? Because Boris Johnson was saying a lot of loud comments like, this is how much money we'll be getting every single week. Remember, these are loud claims coming from the Conservative Party. There were big buses. There were big pictures of a trail of immigrants coming into Britain. Can you remember these pictures? Was Cameron going out to say Boris is lying?
Well, Cameron don't talk like that, though, innit? But
My friend, Emmanuel,
that's not how
you
things
said
work.
the majority of the Conservative Party,
Yeah.
the majority of the Conservative Party wanted to stay in.
That's what I believe.
That's what you said?
Yes.
Right.
And
now, if you're saying the majority of them wanted to stay in,
Yeah.
and Boris Johnson is putting out paraphernalia, he's putting out propaganda, saying this is what's going to happen, this is how much money is going to the EU every single week.
That would have been saved because the NHS, yes.
Is it not irresponsible?
Mm-hmm.
Is it not a dereliction of duty to not basically say Boris is lying?
But I think probably Bear them probably would have been doing that. I just can't remember that for me to say yes, they
This
were.
is bonkers. I don't
But
know how
many of them would have been doing it.
this revisionist history is going. I don't understand this. I really don't understand this.
Why do you think that Cameron wanted to leave Europe?
Why are you focusing on just Cameron?
Because he's the leader of
Because
the party.
when I told you that Boris is saying what he was saying, and I'm saying if Cameron's the prime minister,
Yeah.
he should be doing more to counteract what Boris is doing. And you're going on like, well, I don't know if he did or he didn't. He should be doing that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
If you're going to focus on Cameron, why don't you focus on what he should be doing if it is that he really wanted to basically stay?
Yeah, you have to
If
look
Boris
at
is
it like
the
this.
loudest voice,
You have to look at it like this.
how come he wasn't going out and saying Boris is lying?
Listen, the reality is people might be in the chat listening saying, look, there was instances where Cameron was saying that. I just can't
That
remember.
Boris was lying?
Yeah. People might listen, wait a minute. People might say this. I just can't remember. This is the only reason why I'm not saying it. But what I do remember is
Cameron was not saying that.
that's fine, Brent. Either way, if that wasn't Cameron's defense, fantastic. But I'm saying to you, Cameron didn't want to leave. There's a reason why when we voted for Brexit, the man said, I can't take you through with it because it's not what I wanted. He wanted the country to stay in the EU. He did.
Again, you suggesting that he wanted to stay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Cool.
I do not disagree that he may have come on TV to say the position that we're in right now,
Okay.
that I've been governing,
Okay.
yep, we need to basically stay here. But when you see Boris Johnson, the loudest voice in the Conservative backbench or whatever,
Yeah.
screaming lies,
Yeah.
what is your duty then?
Yeah. So that means you're arguing about one's technique in trying to get across the win.
What are you talking about?
Because you're talking about,
What-
okay, if
they're in the same
wait,
party. They're in the same
Yeah, but
party.
what you're saying to me is, remember, there was talks during the same time that Cameron was also saying, why is Boris doing this?
No, my friend, I'm talking about
know that,
if
right?
Boris is lying
Yeah.
on mainstream media.
Yes.
big buses.
Yes.
Stand outside big buses,
Yes.
smiling like a Cheshire cat.
Yes.
And he's saying 350 million to the
hear
EU
you,
will be
yes.
going to our NHS every single week.
Yes.
Why didn't he say you are lying? If
I
he
don't know
really
why-
wanted to basically
I
say,
don't know why he said you're not lying. What I do know is he was saying to people, why is Boris doing this?
Let me
That's
get
what
off,
people
let me
say.
get off this point. This is this is
We
this is
listen.
bollocks.
Afterwards, we'll go back and we have to find this
I
out.
believe that the White Britain and their suffering is wholly down to conservatives and their wickedness.
All right.
Now I'm talking about the suffering that has now reached breaking point. I'm not saying
All right,
anything
cool.
wild.
All right.
My conservatives have been in power for 14 flipping years.
I know that.
So why are
But
you getting like it was a wild thing to
The
say?
reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like history repeats itself, right? And every now and again, if you look through history, you get these situations where people come and say, we've had enough. I'm not saying it's exactly like
It's
this.
always with the Conservatives. It's true. Thatcher done it. The Northerners hate the Conservatives.
Yeah.
When
True.
she closed the factories, the mines, and all these things, like what she done. It's also it's history. It's still, if you look at
Yeah.
history, it's still the Conservatives doing. That might be the first iteration of white suffering.
Maybe, all right, maybe.
And the numbers of illegal immigration, didn't it just skyrocket whilst
it
they'd
did.
been in
And the Tories.
their tenure?
Yeah.
So, my friend, all these points that they're saying that they're vexed with, they've been in charge for all of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
All right, cool. I hear you. I think for me, yeah. All right, see, in the chat, Rico said Boris was doing it because that's what David wanted. That's just not historically accurate, though. You know what I'm saying? They were, like, even to this day, Boris Johnson and David Cameron are not, like, close like that anymore. I think they were in the same year. They went to uni together and all sorts. Like, to this day, they're not on good terms because of the fact, well, one of the reasons because Boris took that stance against him. That's the reason why. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Anyway, is there anything else anyone wants to add?
Ed says that Cameron did call Boris a liar. That's when Boris took over. Cameron was pushed out of Parliament.
Thank you, Ed.
Okay.
Me find some, because I don't like to basically make these statements against Emmanuel loving conservatives if it's not true. So I'm going to find some articles where he basically said that the 350 million to the NHS a week
Yeah.
was called out by Cameron as a lie. I can't remember any of that.
All right, but what's
And
this?
these are loudest claims.
I don't remember that being called a lie because that's stuck.
That's stuck. That doesn't mean because I don't call it out and
No,
say that's a lie.
I want to
that
find
I'm
these
saying
articles.
that
I want
I'm
to find
for
these
you.
articles because you know how much hope you get as a disenfranchised white Brit, right? Saying that, hey, your NHS waiting times are going to be reduced. You'll be able to have your bananas again. All these stupid things that these Conservative Party members were saying was so important and pivotal to white people's lives, right? They were shocked. And as soon as it is that we get out, we can basically change lives for the better, right? So they're like, yeah. They didn't know that their factories that they were working in were going to get shifted because there was no money coming in anymore. Everything was blocked off. They didn't know about all of that. They weren't told about all of that. So I want to find these mother effing articles because during these particular years of hope, everything was all right. Britain is going to change, and we are now going to basically see a brighter day. The sun will come out tomorrow. Then when Brexit hit, bam. Now Farage is saying conservatives didn't do Brexit properly. That's what Farage is now saying, and I'm going to basically do it properly now. So he's now again dangling hope, like them bloody pastors in these black countries, dangling hope. It's wickedness. But I want to find articles so that I could prove you right, Emmanuel, where he says that this guy was lying about the buses.
I don't know why you're looking for that particular thing.
What do you want me to look for?
I want you to look for any evidence that shows Cameron was in support of Brexit.
Was in support of Brexit.
Yeah.
And that's it?
Yeah. That's it.
And why is that? Why do you think that that's the only thing that I'm saying to you?
Because I think the thing that you want to find is unreasonable. Because if it's kind of like somebody saying to you, okay, cool. This might not be the most accurate thing, but me and you are playing football, right? And you're winning, and someone says to me, "Well, Emmanuel, you need to score, otherwise you're showing and proving that you want Brent to win." No, like there's different ways for people to combat, and if Cameron is not the type of person to be as loud as Boris or do this, that, and the third, or maybe his technique is just not in that way where the media are going to be latching onto what he's saying. I don't think it's fair to say I need to find something that combats that same argument. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think it's fair because you're looking at two different people here. That's basically what I'm saying. So I think it's fair to say, okay, cool. To prove if Cameron wanted to stay, let's find articles where he's talking about, guys, it's beneficial for the UK to remain in the EU. Then I think that's proof enough. Unless you're going to say you found that but still don't believe him. That's what I'm saying.
Sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. I think my mind was elsewhere. So if Jeremy Corbyn says, I am not racist, does it mean the Labour Party is not racist?
Corbyn says, I'm not racist. No, of course not. Because he's not like the
Did they
thousands,
get him out of
thousands of members.
Did they get him out of there?
Yeah.
Who got him out of there?
The people that can't be mentioned.
Did the Labour Party get him out of there?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
All right. Did the Conservative Party get David Cameron out of there? Because my
he
thing,
left though, innit?
what my claim is that the Conservative Party wanted Brexit, right?
Okay, cool.
The people who
I hear
make
you.
the body of the Conservative Party wanted Brexit.
Okay, majority of them, you're saying?
100%. The fact that it is that Cameron was now removed
No, I'm
was
just
because he
clarifying
couldn't.
your thingy. Yeah, go on.
Was because he couldn't. He, as you said, he was saying, I want to leave. And if it is that you're now pushing something through, you can't be the face of who's now looking to push it through.
Yeah.
So my main claim was that the Conservative Party wanted, that's what I started with.
I know, but on top of that, you was also saying that Cameron, da-da-da. But okay, but just to be clear, the only difference between me and you is what you're saying is the majority of the Tories wanted
But
to
I
leave.
said that, and you said
majority
you
to
thought the
stay.
majority of the Conservative
Yeah,
Party
wanted
wanted
to
to stay.
Yeah.
And I didn't believe that.
Okay, cool. I don't know how we're going to prove that with certain articles, though, from what Cameron's saying. I don't know.
No, I don't want to, because I told you that he never came out and told Boris that he was a liar about the bus. And Ed said that he did call Boris a liar,
Okay,
right?
cool.
And again, I want to find those articles to find out what he called him a liar for.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, cool.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
Fine. All right.
Yeah, and I'm never going to get off to the Conservatives' neck, ever. Racist mother effers, man.
No problem, man. All right, people. I think we can move on from there.
All right, let's get into headlines.
Sorry, Esther.
No, you're good.
All right, people. So our next set of headlines. The BBC has begun to remove Huw Edwards from some of its archive footage after the former broadcaster pleaded guilty to making indecent images of children. It is starting with family and entertainment content on iPlayer, according to the Observer External, which first reported on the move. A BBC spokesperson said, as you would expect, we're actively considering the availability of our archive. While we don't routinely delete content from the BBC archive, as it is a matter of historical record, we do consider the continued use and reuse of material on a case-by-case basis. The Observer claimed that the removal of certain content was aimed at protecting audiences from repeats of Edwards' most visible work in the news and on state occasions, including, obviously, the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. Next headline, and several countries have urged their nationals to leave Lebanon as fears grow of a wider conflict in the Middle East. Iran has vowed severe retaliation against Israel, which it blames for the death of Hamas political chief Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran on Wednesday. Israel has not commented. His assassination came hours after Israel killed Hezbollah senior commander Fuad Shuk in Beirut. Western officials fear that Hezbollah, which is an Iran-backed militia and political movement based in Lebanon, could play a key role in such a retaliation, which in turn would spark a serious Israeli response. Diplomatic efforts by the US and other Western countries continue to try to de-escalate tensions across the region. A growing number of flights have been cancelled or suspended at the country's only commercial airport in Beirut. And the US, the UK, Australia, Sweden, France, Italy, Canada, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan are among the countries that have urged their citizens to leave Lebanon as soon as possible. And our last headline, trigger warning on this one. And a 16-year-old boy has been charged with murder in relation to the death of a vulnerable man whose home was allegedly attacked with fireworks. Robert Price was 76 years old and he died from inhalation of fumes and burns following a fire at a house in Dagenham in East London at 5:40 on the 27th of July. Firefighters forced entry into the house on Oval Road in North. Firefighters forced entry to the house on Oval Road North and found Mr. Price. He was pronounced dead at the scene, according to the Met Police. The teenager, who was also charged with arson with intent to endanger life, will appear in custody at Barkingside Youth Court on Monday. He is the second youth charged in connection with Mr. Price's death. Neither of them can be named for legal reasons. And that's it for our headlines. It's time to pay them bills.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So I need to offer you an apology. Esther, I'm going to apologize to Emmanuel. Take note. Marks, I'm going to apologize to Emmanuel. Take note. Yeah? Cool. You need to be aware for this. David Cameron has indeed referred to Boris Johnson as a liar in his memoirs published in 2019.
All of a sudden, I forget who was on what side. So did you say that
Cameron
did call Boris a liar?
No, I'm saying I don't remember him saying it, so I can't say that he did. But I'm saying he wasn't on the same side as Boris.
But what did Brent say?
Brent's saying, well, he didn't call him a liar. He didn't come out and say all the money that would go to the NHS that's squandered.
Oh, okay. He didn't say he's a liar. Okay.
So, why is that important, Emmanuel?
Brent's saying that is important.
Why is it important, Emmanuel?
Well, let's go. Let's go. Brent.
Why is it important, Emmanuel?
Brent is saying it's important because 2019 is after the fact.
What you're telling me is that Brent made a scene to apologize, but it was a petty apology.
Can you imagine? He was very explicit in his memoirs.
He must have told the people.
Brexit was 2016, you know? 2016.
No,
The
man.
In his memoirs.
Upon reflection.
God damn it.
That's just one source, Brent.
Yeah. ChatGPT. Sorry, Water Road, yeah?
Yes, please. Sorry. One of our absolute babes. I have to shout her out before I start Word on Road. Heather. It's Heather's birthday.
Oh, big up Heather, man.
Yeah, man. Big up Heather. Happy birthday, babe.
She was whipping a whole set of sweet bread on the weekend. A whole sweet bread made right, by the way.
Did you get it?
How do you know?
No. She was just
How
sending pictures.
How did you know?
She
I was
just
gonna say, how did you know? Because talking about it's made right. I was like, how did you know it's makeup? How did you know she's making sweet bread?
Because she was sending me pictures.
So she sent you pictures. You said no sweet bread.
No,
Or is it in the post?
no.
Heather.
It's not so. Heather's not in the way. You just
No, it's
you
not.
want to show sweet bread. No, big up Heather though. Heather's absolutely good vibes. So big up Heather. All right. So what am I starting with? Hold on. Okay. So Dylan Sprouse. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the show Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. They're like identical twins. Them Hollywood twins. They're like the male version of Mary Kate and Ashley. These guys. Well, this is Dylan.
Looks a bit familiar, you know.
His brother played Ben in Friends. He was Russ's kid. Remember Russ's son in Friends? Yeah, that was Cole. So the Dylan and Cole Sprouse. But they were the stars of a show called Sweet Life of Zack and Cody on Disney Channel back in the day. So watch that show. I love that show so much. And their mum on there, her name was Kim Rhodes. But on the show her name was Kerry. But yeah, anyway, so basically he was on Andy Cohen's show the other day.
Sorry, is that the same guy that was in the film with Adam Sandler? Ben, what's that film? Mars, you might know it. You probably will know it. Where he adopts some kid.
Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Where he's rich?
No, he's not rich. He's kind of like a bum, actually. But he's a lawyer.
I don't know. I won't watch it now, though.
I can't remember. But I was thinking maybe that's the same guy.
It might be.
Like, or his brother or something.
Can you Google it, sorry, please, so I know. Because I really like Adam Sandler. I love his films. Yeah, so basically, he was talking about how...
Big Daddy!
That's the one.
No, you actually really jumped there. My spirit actually leaped.
Sorry.
What's the guy's name?
Dylan Sprouse.
Okay. Is he
So was it him or his brother Cole?
Please, Sonny. That's not Sonny. Julian. Let me see.
Imagine you got it wrong after all that shouting you did.
Is Dylan in
No,
here?
Brent shouted.
Yes, Dylan and Cole Sprouse both played the role of Julian McGrath in Big Daddy.
I think that's so cool when they swap twins.
Yeah,
when they got twins playing the same role. I think it's so cool. Oh, get your checks. All right. So basically you're talking about how one time he refused to tell a scripted joke. And I love stuff like this. I like, because they were kids when they did the show. So it's so admirable, especially with everything that we've been seeing recently with the whole Nickelodeon stuff and Disney Channel and all the stuff we've been seeing about the kids and stuff. It's very, very admirable that he was young, but he still knew wrong from right. So he said that he refused to tell a scripted fat joke about Kim Rhodes, who was his on-screen mother at the time. And he said there's a better joke somewhere else, unless you're talking about yourself. He says, unless it's self-referential, which I find is fun. But if you're pointing... You some water?
It's dusty in it, man. The studio's dusty.
Brent, okay. You want to say it third time? Or? Because 2 out of 3 of us have asthma and we ain't complain.
I'm used to the dust.
Yes? What's the problem? Just say, yes, please, can I have some water? I said it's dusty in here. So he said there's a better joke somewhere else unless you're talking about yourself, unless it's self-referential, which I find is fun. But if you're pointing the finger at people and talking about how they look, I just don't tend to find that very funny in general. That's a real man. He also went on to say that he wouldn't disrespect any woman that way, let alone her. He said, you write something funny and I'll say it. He said that... Sorry. He said that basically at that time they obviously understood that their job was to make sure everyone else was good and but it was the whole thing. And apparently as well, I think around that time she was pregnant. Them making funny jokes about pregnant women, that's crazy. I don't care how much you're paying me. That's foolishness. But anyway, I rate him for that. I think that was very, very admirable. So big up him for that. And then trigger warning on this, but Angelina Jolie's lawyers are basically arguing that Brad Pitt wanted her to sign an NDA that wouldn't essentially to silence her about his abuse. So that's been a whole thing going on for years now, unfortunately. Like even his kids have spoken out about it, where allegedly there was a time where he attacked them on the plane and whatnot and all that sort of stuff. But basically he allegedly tried to get her to sign an 8.5 million non-disclosure agreement relating to his abuse against her. And of course, just didn't sign it. So all that stuff is ongoing in court. So this was found out in the court documents that were filed on the 25th of July. That was last week. And there's a whole lot going on with them and their divorce and the businesses they have together. I reported a while ago that she basically, they had like this winery or wine business thing together, and he basically was taking off it and but in that as well, her lawyers are saying that wasn't something that was done intentionally and whatnot. But obviously his lawyers are gonna make their points, and they said that while essentially they're saying there's an outdated privacy of domestic violence argument to shield his abuse and so yada yada yada. It's not as they're saying, but yeah, that's what people are doing on this side of town. Cardi B, because I talked about Cardi B on Friday, I believe it was, and we talked about how she's getting a divorce and she's also pregnant, but she has revealed that the father of her child is Offset. I knew it would be, to be fair. She's been giving that man a chance. But yeah, she basically talked about the child. She's addressed the fact that he's the father of the child. She's not out here blaming him for cheating and then was cheating. So that's what's going on their side of town. And also over the weekend, this was on Friday as well, Dami Hope, who was a former Love Island contestant and going out with India, the It girl. To be fair, I love them together. They're It couple, to be fair. But he was on Capital Extra with Robert Bruce, bring up Robert Bruce. And basically, it was National Girlfriend's Day. So it was her interview. Then he surprised her with flowers there. I should have actually got the exact script of what he said. Cut long story short, he basically said that he made a joke like, what was it? Oh yeah, he was talking about she's like a great girlfriend, she's a great this, she's gonna be a great mother one day. And then Robert was like, oh, are we like talking wedding proposal? He's like, oh, now you know she's Jamaican. Like, I just have to put a baby in. I don't have to marry her. Something like that. Basically, he said he can get her pregnant without having to marry her. and, you know, it'd be okay. But obviously, he's been getting cooked over the weekend. People are basically saying that that's very, very insensitive. But also, people are cooking for separate reasons. People that don't like them as a couple were talking about how he's always embarrassing her, and that's a horrible thing for him to have said. Then obviously, people are saying that that's a very disrespectful stereotype, and saying that. And then, of course, there's people who are saying that there's always that kind of bias about people from the Caribbean, you know, that Africans have, because Dami is Nigerian, so they're basically saying all that stuff. So it's just been a whole thing. Do you think that's offensive as a Jamaican correspondent in here?
Yep.
Fair.
Extremely.
You're appalled.
We love love. And the what's the word?
Sanctity.
Of marriage.
That's an unfamiliar word.
They'll make me have to report on you tomorrow on Weather Road to recap all of this. I said this, and then E-Man said...
It was the dust. I'm just saying. We got to change these narratives, man.
Yeah, man. It's important.
These stereotypes
It's not good, is it?
about Jamaican men, Yoruba men.
That is true.
Ah, see, you're on board now.
Immediately.
You see the thing with the Yoruba men are not trying to beat the Chargers, so you might just want to focus on Jamaica. Focus on you. They're not trying to beat the Chargers. They're wearing that flag with pride.
I think Caribbean marriage is going up anyway.
Really? You did that survey.
Hmm?
You did that, not the M&S. So you did the survey.
4%. It's gone up 4%.
It's gone up 4%. From what? 0?
2013.
From what? 2%? What was the percentage? We're a strong 6, people. We're a strong 6. I mean, to be fair, I feel like sometimes you just have to read the room. I mean, some people are like, to be fair, like if some people basically saying like if you joke like that at home and whatnot, fair. Maybe that's a joke she's heard before. I mean, she was like, oh, don't you like? She was like, no, like don't try it kind of thing. But I don't know, man. I think generally people should be able to read the room somewhere, and I think he's been in the spotlight enough now to know certain things that you say, if it's not in the confines of your home, people are going to cook you for it.
I think, do they just want an excuse to cook him for it, or are they actually offended?
But they cook him anyway, though. Because they cook him anyway.
I don't think they're actually offended. It's just a stupid joke, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know, people, I don't know. You honestly, with the internet, you just never know if it's genuine or if it's just, let me jump on the bandwagon. Like, this is going on, I have nothing else to do in my day. Let me jump on it as well and write a thesis about it.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of that because I can't see them.
But as people like, I'm Jamaican, this is very offensive.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh my
are
gosh,
they married?
No. They're not. They're boyfriend and girlfriend for like 2 years. How could I forget?
No, the people that are saying they're very offended, are they married?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, you know me? I don't know, child. I don't know his business. I forgot to add Big Sean on there. I'm going to add it for the description after. But Big Sean, if you want to talk about embarrassment, that's embarrassment. Big Sean. So he had a sit-down interview with Charlemagne, right? And talking about relationship. Like, obviously, he and Janae have a child together and whatnot. They've been together for years now, like, just years. So Charlemagne is asking this man about whether he's going to, like, they're talking about marriage and settling down and whatnot. And Big Sean basically says what Dami said, but he's actually living it. Talking about, so basically he's talking about, what did he say? He said something like, they can't get married yet because there's still things to be worked on. Things to be worked on, and you was out here. No, sorry, I remember, I don't speak a certain way anymore. It's going to sound so crazy. Things to be worked on, but you're comfortable enough to have a baby with her, but you're not, but things to work on, you can't marry her. So there was a whole discourse over the weekend about men who are ready to have children with you or will have children with you, but don't think that they need to be getting married to you. And then Charlemagne let him know that he's been in a 26-year relationship. And I thought, okay, this might be, because you know when people start bringing up divorce rates, but the rates they speak of, they don't even know what it is. You can't tell me the percentage if I asked you. You don't know. So he brought up this divorce rate, like, oh, you know, because people get divorced and the divorce rate is going up, and so is the marriage rate, but people don't report on that. So Charlemagne was like, well, I've been with my woman for 26 years, and he was like, I'll be honest with you, it's never going to be perfect. So like, if you're waiting for when you feel like your relationship is perfect enough for you to make that commitment, he was like, it's never going to be, because relationships are up and down. And he said that they've been together 26 years, they've been married for 10 now. Here, Big Sean. So what took you 16 years then to make that commitment? I was thinking, you're slow. You're slow. He told you all the things he told you, and that's what you want to pick up. But anyways, all the best, all parties involved. That's all I can say. But he just, I don't know, man. His body language of it all, he's just childish. I find men like that very, very childish. You can't, like, children is such a big commitment to have with somebody that marriage is where you draw the line. What?
How long have they been together?
A few years now, you know. A few years now. They've definitely been together at least, it's got to be at least 5 years. They've been together for a few years now and they've got a child now. I don't know how many. Are you Googling, Brent? No, you're not, are you? Why'd you type like that so quickly?
Because I've just copied something into the asking for a friend and it's long.
Oh God.
8 years. Sister.
So if they've done 8 years and they got a youth, they're basically married anyway. So
Yeah, so do it then.
I'm saying, so why do you need it?
Do it. But you see, that's a funny conversation because the same reason why you think, why do it, is the same reason why you should do it. If it's not a big deal, if it's not that deep, it works both ways. So if you know it's going to make her happy, then her happiness should be important and just do it.
Yeah, but using that for argument, we can go back and forth. We can both all do that.
We absolutely can, but we've got to do what makes us happy. And you're saying you're indifferent. Saying, oh, why do it is a sign of indifference. But her saying to do it is linked to her happiness. So in a relationship, are you trying to make your partner indifferent or are you trying to make them happy? So go on the side of happiness.
A child is a bigger commitment than a marriage.
I believe that. And if you're making the biggest commitment of having a child, I don't think that marriage is where you should be drawing the line. Like,
No, I'm saying this. So if we've made the big massive commitment already,
Exactly,
then
so there's no point.
the insignificant one, we could just...
Really? That's wonderful. That's great.
Huh?
Anyway, this ain't my problem. This is me just reporting the story. I don't take by some of people's headaches that I definitely can't relate to.
If you have a man, you got more chance him staying in your life with a child than with a ring.
No, not necessarily. I think that sounds like a man that hates you.
Do you think?
Absolutely. I think any man that's trying to trap you with a child but doesn't want to make a commitment of marriage when he knows that that's something that you want. Obviously, we don't even know if Janae wants that, but there are women who want to get married, but the guy would... I see men that know a woman wants to get married and are in a long-term relationship with her, but then give her a child without proposing or getting married. I think that's trapping. Look, I think that's a bit abusive as well. That's it's emotional control.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is. Because you know what she wants and you've used this child as a way to kind of like, almost kind of keep her in this situation. It's very backwards. It's very, very backwards. Some pro women leaving men. Anyways, all that being said, that's what's happening. That's the story in Ballymore. Let's get into people's journal. I don't know if that's a script or if that actually happened in real life. I can't remember.
All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from economics point of view. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is the stock markets, man. Across Europe and Asia have tumbled this morning. Why? Because people are kind of scared that the US economy is heading for a slowdown. So the FTSE 100 opened 2.3% lower, while the Euro Next 100 tumbled 3.5%. The Nikkei in Japan, that dropped 12.4%. And which is basically the biggest fall by points in history. That was 4,451 points. So yeah, man, it's all because of the data that came out last Friday with regards to weak jobs and things of that nature, which obviously sparked concerns about the largest economy in the world, which is obviously America. So that's going to have a ripple effect throughout the entire world. So yeah, we'll see what happens, especially when the market opens in America. Next thing I wanted to mention is Rachel Reeves is getting some pressure, or at least, suggestions anyway from certain people to say, listen, if you want to cover up this hole that she keeps speaking of, this black hole that was left by the Tories, you may need to charge pensioners national insurance. So again, these are the things that I guess the Tories and everybody else was kind of saying about Labour, even though they're talking about not increasing taxes, or rather they were saying they were not going to. To be realistic, they were always going to have to do something to get this money back. And yeah, people are basically saying to them, listen, you're going to have to do something about this. So Sir Andrew Dilnot basically suggested that, look, you need to make pensioners pay national insurance to help cover the costs of social care. It's way too much. At the moment, most people stop paying national insurance after they reach the state pension age, right, which is currently 66. But the tax is still levied on companies that employ older workers, right? So this same gentleman, Sir Andrew, is basically suggesting that scrapping the age limit for individual contributions, meaning that those who continue to work past the state pension age would mean that they will end up paying tax. And this is something that you need to do, or at least you should consider ASAP if you want to actually help pay for social care in this country. So yeah, man, Rachel Reeves, she's got a lot of decisions to make, man. And like I said to you guys last week, we will know in the autumn budget how exactly they plan to close this black hole that was left by the Tories. Next thing I wanted to mention is Nationwide. So Nationwide, they've got a plan to open up dementia clinics in their bank branches, right? So they want to actually open up, I believe it's 30. They're going to be paying, I should say, for 30 Dementia UK nurses to tour their branches and conduct in-person consultations that can be booked by families, carers, and people who are actually suffering from dementia. And those booking appointments can be from people who don't even have Nationwide accounts. They don't have to be Nationwide customers. So I believe it's going to be available at all of their branches, or at least it says here 200 branches, and that service will be free. And it will be providing specialist health and financial advice for people who are suffering with dementia. So I think that's a beautiful thing. And again, shows the best thing is not always to necessarily go to the government to get assistance. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting a bloody long time. And so big up Nationwide for taking the initiative with that and helping out the people in the country. Next thing I wanted to mention is football fans, man. According to Lloyds Bank, thousands of young people in the UK were being tricked into paying money for Premier League games, last season. So obviously they're saying that football ticketing fraud against its customers, especially the Lloyds Bank customers, was up. And around, I think, a third compared to the previous season. And they basically said that, look, people, you lot need to be on guard because this may be rampant in the season to come. So yeah, for the TDA people out there, be careful where you're getting your tickets from because there's a lot of fraudulent tickets being sold to people. And it may be difficult for you to get your money back. That is pretty much it. In fact, I think there's one more thing I wanted to mention to you guys. Where is it? If I remember, I'll mention it. But it's just me basically saying to everyone, when we get more information on the autumn budget, obviously we'll let you guys know as well. But the first budget should be, I think, in October. And then we'll pretty much know exactly where the money's going to be crawled back in our taxes. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the People's Journal. It's not much to talk about today.
All right, let's get into asking for a friend. Okay, asking for a friend. So my doc is loading. There we go. We're doing both. Oh, should we do Love 100? Why is it shouting?
Is it too?
It's like, it's just caps all the way through. Should we do Love 100 because it doesn't sound like a dilemma? Is it a dilemma?
I don't think any of them are dilemmas.
Oh, is it? Okay, all right, then let's do the first one then.
You want to ask somebody to read one of them?
Why don't we do one tomorrow?
That's fine, I'll read it.
It's not dilemmas.
Oh, the first one, Friday's one. Oh, no. Okay, so the updates. All right, so I found I'll read them. The first one is from the dilemma from Friday, the lady that was 36 years old, trying to find the guys, and she had a list of guys spinning up and down on the dates and stuff. Do you remember that dilemma?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So she says, hey guys, I'm the girl from your Friday dilemma. I did say that I am a low-key girl. Sorry, Brent, I'm not sending my picture, but you guys have given me some things to think about. I believe I am attractive, and men do find me attractive. Esther, babe, you would think geeks were better, but they are also the same, just on a different level. And I'm finding church to be a bit of a weird place. You ain't got to tell me, trust me, I know. I have thought about and changed the type of guys I talk to. I don't necessarily have a set type, just black. I am not a social media babe, so I'm not going to set up a YouTube page. That was Brent's brilliant idea. But to go on YouTube and be like, hi guys. Anyways, that also just sounds a lot and like online dating. I think the point about how are men going to find me is a good point, but where do men go? I go to events, even networking spaces, and they are women dominated. But I will take this advice on. I'm planning to go to more social events. I've seen a few events by a group called Yorubaism. As in Yoruba.
Ism.
Okay, very creative. They are on Insta. Go check them out. I will also try. You told me to move the mic from your mouth. I will also try moving to guys I can talk to. Sorry, can I? You know how the thing that's what you are doing around me. I was thinking, no, I'm going to ignore you. I will also try moving to guys. I can talk to guys. Love that. Where's the horns, Brent? Big up the women, the community of women that are moving to guys. I will also try moving to guys. Sorry, trigger warning, Stacey. I will also try moving to guys. I can talk to guys. I definitely wouldn't say that Margs, Iman, Brent are emotionally unstable. I'm talking about men who have issues like depression, anxiety, mummy, daddy issues, and are not managing it, just sitting in it, no action. This causes issues with communicating, going out, etc. I think the issue I've had is that men say they are ready, and then I get to know them and find out they are definitely not. They are just kidding themselves. Brent, can I ask why you're not dating? Oh. I've come across a couple of established level-headed men who are great, who say they are on the shelf or just want to have fun, but would make great partners or husbands. I don't know, maybe they're aware of the true responsibility and magnitude of it all and don't want to tie themselves down yet. But this doesn't help us women. But thank you guys. I really appreciate the thoughtful discussion. Oh, I'm glad we helped you, babe, because we didn't know. I did not know if we did. So, Brent, why aren't you dating? She said.
I'm dating a beautiful white Jewish queen.
All right, then.
All right, horns. Put some more horns in my ear.
Just one.
All right.
Shalom and that.
I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Clocked it.
You're so annoying, you know. All right. Oh, okay. Interesting.
I'm dating
Brent is dating.
a white Jewish queen.
And Dr. Umar has rejected the invitation. All right, this is from Levondre. Let me address you lot. And he did address us. It's all in caps. The only thing that was in lower was his name. All right. So let's break this down. Hopefully this is made clear to all the TDA fam. First and foremost, Esther, when the pro-black guy sent in his dilemma with the mixed girl and the black girl the other day, and the black girl the other day said she needs clarity as to what message you lot are giving out. To be honest, Esther has been giving out go where the love is energy since a lot of these type of dilemmas. If you're cussing me out and you got me reading it, this is wild. To be honest, is it cussing me out?
He's not, but is it somebody else to read it?
No, I want to read it now because I'm here now. And if it's cussing me out, I'm in a new age now. The shade has been topped up. To be honest, Esther has been giving out go where the love is energy since a lot of these type of dilemmas have been sent in. Esther, Marks and Brent haven't been giving team go where the love is energy, whereas Iman and Christy are team BOE energy, and Gina's in the middle. Ramsey tends to stay out of these convoys when he's there, which is a good thing because it shows he is self-aware that these convoys are black issues. But you don't want to leave Ramsey and his race alone. but he always gives objective, sensible opinions that always have value. Here we go. My name is in there again. Hopefully Esther doesn't take this as a criticism, but the go where the love is message contradicts the message of you shouldn't settle that she often shares. Okay, it's interesting. In my opinion, I semi-take it go where the love is as go with what is good for you and don't prioritize what you like as much. Oh, that's not what I'm saying. And that's why it's contrasting for me. Let me read that again. I semi-take the go where the love is as go with what is good for you and don't prioritize what you like as much, and that's why it's contrasting for me. I do agree with Esther, Marks and Brent, though, with going where the love is. I just think over time, Esther confuses me a bit. Apologies, sorry if I offended you, Esther. You didn't. Please don't block me. I don't even know who you are. I'm not as bad as Black Robert. Oh, no one's as bad as them. Now, with regards to the dilemma sent on Friday, what's tough is Maggie sent a comment on the episode. I like this though. He's put timestamps just in case we forget. Talking about could we find 5 quality guys for the girl that sent the dilemma? Imagine we did, but she didn't find them attractive, so the initial interaction wouldn't even come to fruition. That's a tough reality. Someone equally yoked that has a great personality that could match her perfectly, she maybe just isn't into physically. I guess that's why matchmaking is tough. Sorry, I had to scroll down and jump scare. I guess Brent wants to do a good thing and a bad thing by asking people to send pictures. The good thing is to give them honest advice, yet the bad thing is possibly destroying their ego by possibly telling them they don't look good enough for what they want or their standards are too low or high. It's kind of like what Kevin Samuels used to do, but Brent, I assume, isn't that sinister. She definitely shouldn't settle. I would suggest this lady makes herself more seen by the type of guy she wants. It could be her moving to guys or going to more events or dressing a certain way, etc. Maybe if she looked at some male friends she has in her life and see if something could work there. That's a good idea. I do think she semi-addressed issues with black men. A lot of black men need to be better, and this problem probably stems from black boys not having dads or positive male black role models in close proximity to look up to. So they have to learn from others by observation and do trial and error. An example is boys watching Disney thinking the nerd or good guys get the girl in the end and then being a good guy in real life, yet the girl wants the bad boy. That boy then turns bad to get girls and maybe does get girls as a result, but he could end up in trouble and doing something he regrets. If he had a responsible male figure around him that he could confide in and trust and look up to as well as open to, that could have been avoided. My advice to fellow black men is to try to acknowledge that people you don't know look up to you and be an example for them, despite if you have kids or not. I agree with this, It may be tough it may be tough to hear, but you can't or shouldn't pick and choose to who your role model to. Main things my dad told me and what I try every day to live by are protect your reputation, your family, friends and loved ones, and avoid overpromising and under-delivering. Be conscious of the who's, the what's, the when's, the where's and the why's that surround you and your energy, and let that determine your day-to-day actions. Think before you speak. This is easier said than done, though, and this advice may not go far and can fall off deaf ears, but helping one is better than none. My advice just isn't for black men, by the way, it's for all men. Cheers, Lavondre. Big up Lavondre every time, man.
Nice one, Lavondre.
Yeah, let me clarify it. Because I did see that on Friday, but I never ever cared to. Didn't care. It's my birthday. Why was I going to care? Anyway, so basically with the go where the love is situation, it's got nothing to do with settling, because above love, like I don't believe in settling in love at all. So if I'm saying go where the love is, I'm saying that you've written a dilemma in, saying that you love this person. The love is there, is it not? Go there. It's not me saying you should be settling. If the love is there and it's what you want, because a lot of dilemmas have been that, where the love is there, that's what they want. But then for whatever other reason, they're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. But the love is there. So go there. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Or have I not clarified enough?
Makes sense to me. How about you, Manuel?
Yeah, I can.
How about you, Marks?
Yeah, perfect.
All right. So, wonderful. Let's get into our last headlines. Apprehension's out the window. He's chasing them. They're running faster.
All right, people. So our last headlines.
We've got more dislikes than we have likes. I think it's the thumbnail.
Because there was a couple people in there that were on the side of the non-EDLers.
Yeah.
And they were fighting tooth and nail and whatnot in there.
Ooh.
And so I reckon that they went to tell the people them, guess what, we're being slandered on this platform. Go there. And some guy was even cussing us. And saying this is I don't even know. It was saying all sorts. I didn't register it because I don't register stupid thoughts. But yeah, so yeah.
All right, people. So our next set of headlines. Brent, please trigger warning sign on the screen, please. Big trigger warning, guys. A 13-year-old boy has been charged with a string of knife and sex offences in the Newfoundland 13, yeah, in the Newfoundland area of Leicester. The boy, who cannot be named for legal reasons due to his age, carried out a number of attacks over a 3-week period in July, including the attempted oral rape of a woman and possession of a blade. He is charged with attempted oral rape on a female and the possession of a knife, blade, or sharp-pointed article in a public place on the 10th of July. The boy is also charged with affray with intent to commit a sexual offence on a female and possession of a knife, blade, or sharp-pointed article in a public place on the 29th of July. He's also charged with sexual assault on a female and the possession of a knife, blade, or sharp-pointed article in a public place on the 31st of July and possession of a knife, blade, or sharp-pointed article in a public place on the 1st of August. The boy has now been remanded in custody and will appear at Leicester Magistrates Court later today. Well, that was on Saturday. Next headline, and detectives investigating the fatal stabbing of a bus driver who was on his way home from work in East London have released details of a man they urgently want to speak to. The Met Police said that Kamar Williams, 33, is from the Isle of Dogs, and if spotted, members of the public should not approach him, but call 999 immediately. It comes after officers were called at about 23:05 on Tuesday to reports of a man suffering a stab injury in North Road in Stoke Newton. Police and paramedics attended, but the victim, 53-year-old Derek Thomas, was pronounced dead at the scene. In a statement, the Met Police said that a post-mortem examination held on Thursday gave Mr. Thomas's cause of death as a stab wound to the chest. It added his next of kin were aware of his death and were being supported by specially trained officers. A 30-year-old woman was arrested on Saturday on suspicion of assisting an offender and remains in custody as well. And our last headline, Ukraine sank a Russian submarine in Crimea, hit a Russian airfield and destroyed Kerch Bridge defences over the weekend, is what the officials have said. In the port of Sevastopol, which is a Kilo-class submarine in the port of Sevastopol, the Rostov-on-Don, which is a Kilo-class submarine of Russia's Black Sea Fleet, was attacked and sunk, said the Ukrainian military general staff. The general staff added that the Ukrainian forces hit the Moroskovich airfield in the Rostov region of Russia with a massive drone barrage, blowing up warehouses that stored ammunition, including guided aerial bombs. Ukraine has announced a mandatory evacuation of children and their guardians from the areas in the Donetsk region where Russia had been claiming advances. Volodymyr Zelensky had been pictured alongside F-16 fighter jets as he officially acknowledged their arrival in Ukraine. I'm proud of our guys who are mastering these jets and have already started using them for our country. This is what Zelensky said. Ukraine's Foreign Minister, Dmytro Kuleba, will visit Malawi, Zambia and Mauritius this week in an effort to drum up support. That's what his ministry said on Sunday. And they also said that amongst the key topics will be the participation of African states in global efforts to restore a just peace for Ukraine and the world. And that's it for our headlines. It's time to pay them bills.
Thank you. Let's get into the reaction.
Welcome to the reaction, people, where I read out your sports headlines. We've got Olympics still going on.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of it?
I saw a clip today of what was it? I think the 100 meters.
The guys, innit?
Yeah.
That was sick, you know.
And I was thinking, how did I miss this?
That was
normally
sick.
I would have heard about everything.
I watched that in R&B. I watched it in the dance.
That was sick.
Yeah, they're saying it's the best 100 meter final ever, man.
They said by like,
It wasn't, but
I think it's just all the.
they were so close.
Stuff. Yeah, it was so
together.
close.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
what's the stats? They keep saying it was like a
It was like
5,000th of a second or something like that.
Yeah.
that's what he wanted by, but I think the whole thing was like by, I don't know how they do it. Is it a tenth or something?
Yeah.
Of a second, because they got the same times.
No, not like they've got the same
The whole
time.
field
Oh,
is
okay,
covered by
everybody.
like 0.12
that's crazy.
seconds or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's
So
crazy.
the
Like, they all
time.
finished
From first to eighth.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So in one decimal point, they got the same time.
Yeah.
But when you extend the decimal points,
Yeah, exactly.
that's when you see the difference.
Yeah.
And obviously, I had the whole conversation online about is he the foot or the torso? Because
Yeah.
people thought his foot crossed 1st but they're saying no, your torso. So like, but also, why is your foot there and you're back here? Like, how do you run like that?
I thought you just have to cross the line. I didn't realize.
Nah, man. Apparently, your torso.
I thought it was any part of you.
Because your torso. Because apparently, people brought up another competition years ago where the woman basically dived. She basically dived
Dive.
in. Yeah,
And she made it.
she made it. She
She
won.
won, yeah.
Because her torso. And obviously, that was a lot of annoyance and uproar. I think that's so interesting.
This is why they teach you to always do that thing.
The
when
neck.
you get- yeah.
That guy was not taught. He was doing the Chris Brown move. You know, you're popping and locking it backwards. Like, why is your foot all the way down there? Yeah?
It was sick though.
Proper sick. Proper sick. Because he didn't look like he was ahead and then he just really just spit it up.
Yeah, man.
That's sick, man. How exciting.
Cool. So the action-packed day at Paris 2024 features the triathlon mixed relay, where Team GB, led by Alex Yee and Beth Potter, aims to defend their Tokyo title despite challenging water conditions in the scene. Simone Biles, who was already who has already had a sensational Olympics, could make history by winning 2 more gold medals in the balance beam and floor exercise finals, potentially tying the all-time women's record with 9 Olympic golds. Kelly Hodgkinson, determined to upgrade her silver medal from Tokyo, will compete in 800-meter final, having set the fastest qualifying time. Team GB has medal hopes in the men's and women's kayak cross, while track cycling begins with the women's team sprint. Noah Lyles has been crowned 100-meter champion after a thrilling finish, and the triathlon mixed relay unfolds with exciting moments, including a dramatic bike crash involving France's Pierre Lecour and Hayden Wild, putting France at a disadvantage. So more on Noah. Obviously, the United States won the Olympics men 100-meter final in a thrilling photo finish with a time of 9.79 seconds. All 8 finalists finished within 0.12 seconds of each other, making it the fastest 100-meter race ever. Lyles came from behind in the final meters to overtake Thompson, who had led for most of the race. The race was so close that the winner was not known until the official results were displayed on the big screen in the stadium.
So also the guy was celebrating.
Lyles' victory marks the first time 8 men have run under 10 seconds in a wind legal 100-meter race. Oh, there was a great night of boxing over the weekend. Terence Crawford won his 4th world title at different weights by beating Israel Madrimov to claim the WBA light middleweight crown in Los Angeles. The 36-year-old American won by unanimous decision at the BMO Stadium to extend his unbeaten record to 41 fights. A former lightweight champion who was also undisputed champion at light welterweight and welterweight, Crawford triumphed 116 to 112, 115 to 113, and 115 to 113 on the judges' scorecards. Defeat was the first of 29-year-old Uzbek Madrimov's 11-bout career. Israel was a tough competitor, said Crawford, who had not been taken to 12 rounds since 2016. He's real strong, he's durable, he took a lot of good shots, he got me to round 12. He had fast speed, a good rhythm upstairs, he was very disciplined, and he fought a good fight. Did you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. I didn't see it.
It was a very good fight, man. It's not really one of those fights for the casual. Because like the first few rounds, you would have thought, what's going on here? But it's like the rhythm of Madrimov. I don't want to be blasphemous here and say it's like Usyk, but it's like that in the sense that he's always moving, and his rhythm is not like orthodox. So you feel like you might be able to catch him here, and it won't be the case. He would just be gone. You know what I'm saying? And they just kept resetting each other's rhythms. And yeah, man. So Madrimov, obviously, this was his 11th pro fight, but the guy's got an extensive amateur background, so that obviously played a part in it. And the guy just seemed. He's much more full at that weight class. You know what I'm saying? I think even in amateurs, he was fighting at a higher weight class as well. So it was always going to be tough. And you could see from the way, his punches had an impact on Crawford. Like, and obviously, we were talking about Crawford potentially fighting Canelo at 168. It's just something you shouldn't do with it. You know what I'm saying? He can't go up that far. Canelo would hurt him very badly. You know what I'm saying? But again, it would be just for the money, innit? So, you know what I mean? Like, his career, his legacy is impeccable, Crawford. He's one of the best fighters that's ever lived. You know what I'm saying? So, if I was him, I probably would go and fight Canelo, get my big payday, and then just sail off into the sunset. But that was a good fight, though. It was close. It was a close fight. And I'm glad that Crawford went into the last 2 rounds thinking, I haven't got this in the bag. Because at that point, he really didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really had to make sure that he sealed it. And he did. So, yeah, man. Some people I heard online would say Madrimov should have won it, but there's no real case for saying Madrimov won. He didn't do enough to win. You know what I'm saying? But Crawford, I think, did. But Eddie Hearn, after the fight, he was complaining. He was like, what is this? This is a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Why is he giving why is the judge giving 116 to 112? What's the point, though? Obviously, he's upset in it because he was saying Madrimov would likely beat Crawford, innit? And Madrimov is his fighter. But the reality is, like, and obviously, that whole argument about if you're the champion, you got to beat the champion. In boxing, really, it's just the points, innit? If you've got more points at the end of the fight, you're the champion. It's literally as simple as that, innit? But, and that's what Crawford did. So, yeah, man, Crawford is, fourth weight class. Yeah. He's one of the greats that's ever laced up gloves, man. But the thing about it is the entire card was sick. the entire card. I was looking forward. This is probably the best card I've seen in America. Yeah.
What's that? These fights at the bottom here?
Yeah.
Which ones did you particularly enjoy?
So Andy Cruz, I think he's only fought like 4 or 5. I think this was like his 5th pro fight. But he's Cuban, isn't it? So he's got a proper amateur background. Sick fighter. Loads of amateur experience. And yeah, man.
He's definitely Mexican.
Who?
Cruz.
No. Oh, you're talking about Pitbull Cruz. No.
Oh.
Andy Cruz. He fought Moran. Yeah, the black guy. Yeah. So he knocked him out. So he had a bit of a tough thingy, I think, in round 4 or something like that. And then obviously his corner was like, "Yo, you need to step up." His corner is Boots. You know Boots' dad.
Okay.
He's training him, innit? So he's got a bit of that Cuban, elusive, crazy, like footwork, but he's also got the aggressive style of like Boots as well. So when he told him you need to step it up, went out there, knocked out the guy, man. So yeah, it was a sick fight though. Obviously another Cuban as well, Morel. He fought Kaladzic, went all the way to points. It was a decent fight. It wasn't the best thing in the world. Morel, obviously, he's now stepped up to 175. So I don't know if he's chasing Benavidez at 175, but he was at 168 with Benavidez and Canelo and them, Caleb Plant and all them guys. But this is his first fight at 175. And it wasn't a special thing, but it does show, again, when you step up weight classes, you're coming up against much bigger men, you know what I'm saying? And it's tough. But one of the fights I was looking forward to the most was Bakoli and Jared Anderson. And Bakoli showed him, you know. He got him out of there. He knocked him down 3 times. They had to stop the fight. And you know, everyone's been, I'm not too sure if you've heard it as well, but everyone's kind of been talking about Jared Anderson being the future of the heavyweights because he's young. He's only like 24. But I've never looked at him and thought this guy is that sort of level. He's skillful, but his opponents haven't been great. He fought, what's that guy's name? Charles Martin. You know Charles Martin?
I haven't seen Anderson fight. I haven't seen him
Anderson.
fight.
Oh, is it? He's a good boxer, but I've never thought he's the future. He, like, in my mind, it's like he's only the future because the other guys leave. That sort of thing, rather than him being as good as them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, when I saw the fight against Bakoli and hearing all the stories I heard about Bakoli, about how he's pretty much hurt every heavyweight that's currently fighting in training, I thought, nah, it's going to be too much for him. Lo and behold, Anderson probably won only 1 round. Only went to the 5th round, and Bakoli got him out of there, man. Corner said, that's enough. Another sick fight as well. Andy Ruiz fought Miller. And I don't want to say he was robbed, but Miller should have won. Miller won that fight. Andy Ruiz was he didn't really show up. And Miller had energy from beginning to end. You know what I'm saying? I think Miller definitely should have got the nod, 100%. And then obviously the co-main event, or somewhat of a co-main event, was Pitbull Cruz versus Valenzuela. Another sick fight, but it kind of showed what I always thought about Pitbull Cruz. He's a good fighter, but he's kind of one-dimensional. And obviously the limitation of his height and his reach was evident here. And Valenzuela fought a very good fight, man. He boxed him like, I don't say like Shakur would have, because he didn't run, right? But he boxed him smart, showed his IQ, and he won the fight. And now he took the belt from Cruz. So yeah, long story short, it was a very good card. But the other fight I wanted to mention here as well, there was a sick fight in the UK as well. These guys are not really, you know what I'm saying, like fighters like that. I think this was for the super welterweight 154 WBC interim silver title or something like that. And this was between McKenna and Laws. You should watch it. Only 3 rounds. There was no jabs. It was just like power shots. That's all it was. There was knockdowns all. It was crazy. It was a sick fight to watch. For the casual, that's the fight of the year, basically. But yeah, it was a good weekend of football, boxing, man. But yeah, that's it.
All right then. It's the end of our sports news, man. The Tribal Chief made an appearance at SummerSlam. Let's get into Down Ere.
Let you go.
I said the Tribal Chief made an appearance at SummerSlam.
Tribal Chief?
The Tribal Chief, head
What's
of
that?
the table.
What's that?
Roman Reigns.
Oh, okay.
You still don't know.
Because I don't watch wrestling.
Oh, so you know what's wrestling then?
He said Roman Reigns.
Ah, so you know levels.
Brandon didn't get me.
Disappeared after WrestleMania, but he's back.
Serious. Did he not lose at WrestleMania?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Beat him?
Cody Rhodes.
Ah, okay.
But Cody's an idiot. Tribal Chief's going to get his belt back.
All right.
Today's done at here is, I suppose it's simple. I suppose it's got to be the rioters, right?
No. I think there's a argument for the party in power.
Who, the Conservatives?
Yeah. They're responsible for this.
That means there's an argument for Andrew Tate as well then.
Yeah, but the Conservatives is the main culprit.
Not even Reform?
No.
Not Tommy?
No, because they're all the same.
No, these people got to take responsibility for their actions, man. I can't give it to the Conservatives. It's got to be the people that was in the streets. That was doing traffic.
So.
That was doing traffic wardens.
No, I don't think so. And that's a good like topic to talk about. Like, who's ultimately to blame? Like, what's the percentage to be put on the rioters as opposed to the organizers
We could do that tomorrow.
or the instigators?
We could do that tomorrow if you like. There's a deeper conversation to have for real, but on a surface level, I'm giving it to the rioters. I'm giving it to the rioters. I'll be honest with you. It's like what you're saying. Whether there's something in it or not, you are using these excuses to get your shit off. You know what I'm trying to say? To get your prejudice and your bigotry and all this crap. It's just, you know what I'm trying to, like, you're using it all as an excuse to come out and do what you really want to do. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, whatever change you're trying to implement, whatever code or message you're trying to push, running around and beating up random black man and Asian man is not doing it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, trying to destroy mosques, setting hotels on fire, like all this agenda. It's like you are lost, and your true colors are showing. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, whether there's people inciting it, misinformation, whatever the cause and what the start of it is, it's tapping into something that's already inside you. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and you're showing your ass running around doing all this stuff, like you're saying, young kids on school holidays, mashing up Greg's and ting. I see some woman walking hand in hand with her youth, and she's screaming, the youth screaming, "Get packies out!" and all these stuff. Like, and I'm saying, like, this is like learned behavior. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, this didn't just happen. Something happened over the weekend, and people are reacting, and now this thing. Like, these are things these are conversations that you're having over the dinner table in your house behind closed doors and whatnot. And you truly believe it. And like I said, just the fact that you're using it as an excuse to get your shit off is the reason why they have to be blamed. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and even we should have more conversations about it. You know what I'm trying to say? That because the way that we always forget that this ain't our country, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and things are changing. It does look different, but again, there's nothing wrong with change. The whole world's changing. The whole world's coming together and getting more multicultural and all of these things. Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing. So even using that as an excuse, you want it to be like the old ways. You just want to see white people, white faces when you come outside your house. It's like, that's an archaic way of thinking. That we're done. We're past that now. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm definitely putting the onus on the people. Like, the root cause is probably, you're right, government, media, and all these things. But they got to be better, man. They got to be better. Some of them clips that's going around, it's just bullying as well. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and Duppy know who for frightened because they're not doing it in certain areas. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, they're not doing it in certain places where, even though they're the minority, there's bare of them. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you go in certain places and you turn up, you're gonna get like fire meets fire and that. They don't want that. They get me. They want places where they can go and take advantage of people and actually be the predominant figure there, be the majority in the areas that they walk into, so they can bully and cause havoc. You get me? So these writers are definitely done it here. 100%. That's where we're at.
All right.
Oh my God, my belly's starting to talk to me. Let's get into our roundup, please. Yeah, so obviously we had a great show today. It was mostly around the riots. Everybody's gone crazy, but we delved on that on the topic of the day, asking about whether these people really, really want war or are they just cosplaying. What else did we speak about? Topic of the day, that we cussed out Jamaicans. They didn't like it. They didn't like it, and obviously Angelina Jolie is trying to be silenced by Brad Pitt. We're not doing that. We had a few updates from Friday's Dilemma in Asking for a Friend. We've got a lot of context, so that was good. There was another one. Can't work out if you were sending extra shots or not. But
No, I'll say not, man.
no?
No, I'll say not. I don't feel shot. So it's great.
Can everyone stop getting shot? Shot.
Are the Muslims still claiming Andrew Tate? Mo,
That's a good question, you know.
We do not know.
That's a good question.
Yeah, Andrew Tate's an idiot. In avenues, there was a trigger warning: 13-year-old boy charged with a string of sexual offences in Leicester. Crazy offences, to be honest with you. And there's a police hunt for a man that was fatally stabbed to death. No, the police hunt for the man who fatally stabbed to death a bus driver. That's what happened. And yeah, all in all, it was a great show, man. That's what we got for you. So make sure you go check that out. Any more?
No.
It says I should do a reminder about the Daryl Blake tour.
Mm-hmm.
This should be good if you pick up here.
Mm-hmm. So people, remember, we got a tour on the 17th, Garvey Day. I know some people already in the Discord have showed an interest. A couple people have actually messaged on Instagram as well, innit?
Yes.
So yes, everyone listening, because I know a lot of people are not on the Discord. You should get on the Discord, by the way. But if you're not, message on the Instagram, message on the Twitter, message in whatever way, and then obviously we'll send the link. Plus, we'll probably put out the link at some point. But again, there's only 25 tickets available. So we really need to make sure people who are taking those tickets are people that will definitely be there. So please bear that in mind. If you see the link and you know you're going to be there on the 17th, it's going to be from 12 to 3. Please get your tickets. But if you're not sure, please hold off. You know what I'm saying? Or let us know anyway.
Man.
But yeah, message us. And yeah, man, we'll do that. That's pretty much it.
All right.
Follow us on social media, The Day After TNB, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Discord. Thanks for tuning in. Please like the video. All that great stuff, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.